Alright, we are live. We are live. Oh shit. Okay. So, hello everyone to our EMEA and China episode on VLR You Listening. Today I'll be joined by Hades, Angry Buck, and my dad ate my toes on VLR. Today we'll first be talking about China and then we'll be talking about EMEA. That's the order. So let's get right into it.
Yay!
Alright. So first of all, what I want to mention is that China finally has ratings. Yes, China finally has ratings for the region on VLR, as confirmed by TM Osura. It's still adapting it, and it's because of the API system they have is and so they've just started it with the last two games with Tech and DRG, BLG, JDG, and also the matches today, which was DRG and EDG, and I forgot what the other team was, but yeah.
It was Tyloo Tech, right?
Tyloo Tech, yes.
Tyloo, yeah.
So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to mention right off the bat. Okay, so let's go into talking about TE versus JDG.
Race versus ADG.
Alright, so this was a quick fast 2-0. Any opinions?
Trace are, I think, slowly regaining confidence that I think might have just all been erased from the horrible performance of Bangkok. I think they definitely did like dip at the start of this split as well, because who was it they lost to?
They lost to
No,
Wolves.
Okay, that's
the
not
only
a-
game they
that's-
lost to at Wolves.
Yeah,
this
but then they did also have that really weird game versus AG where they dropped a map.
Yes, and they almost.
And they
But
could have
it
lost
is-
that one.
Yeah, they almost lost Pro to a reverse sweep.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Trace looked better, at least. JDG still looks shit.
I think a bit of a disappointing performance for JDG. I mean, if you really wanted to like get into that playoffs and wanting to maybe get into like what do you call it, Toronto or champs, you really wanted to see if you could beat Trace here, because Trace do look particularly weak, not on top form, right? And they just weren't able to, even after winning a pretty close game against BLG. Relatively, it wasn't that close, I believe, on the third map, but overall it was, you expected a little bit more fight in them. But it's a great sign for Trace, because they look like they're back into it. Not near the level that they were at like peak kickoff, but it's at an acceptable level. You watch this team, you don't think you don't see the huge fall off that they actually had. So maybe a little bit of confidence boost.
Yeah.
I think at least my thing with Trace that I'm still a bit worried about is Fang Fang, who I thought was probably like their most impactful player, especially like champs kickoff. He was definitely their most impactful player, and he was looking like one of their best players. Like I thought he was like actually their best player. And he has been putting up stinkers so far. I'm a bit worried for him.
Yeah.
Because I think he was one of the main reasons why Trace was able to perform well.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of this role swap they've done where they have Kai just like full time every duelist and then Fang Fang.
Yeah, I feel like if because it's working for Kai, but it's not working for Fang Fang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because before they
You
were
might need to
obviously
get
like
someone else.
before they were obviously swapping like duelist and sentinel, and I thought both of them looked great on the sentinel role, and then obviously they're two of the best duelist players in China. But now that Fang Fang is basically just a flex player, I feel like he's struggling to adapt with the like mental bandwidth of using all the util and shit, especially with Teo.
Yeah.
His Teo's
I agree.
been stinky.
I think Feng Feng is the first one you will be looking to drop from this roster, which is just like really disappointing because he's a really good player, It's just that this role
I think it's just the role, yeah.
This role just doesn't suit him,
I agree.
And it's a bit unfortunate with the meta because you're running so much Yoru that you will have Kai duelists, like perma duelists a lot. So Feng just kind of, I mean, also with this, you would think like Feng could like go on to like, I don't know, like the Vise or something, but they don't lean into these Sentinel comps, or I believe until they get like what, double Sentinel, which was also really awful Feng. So it's not a huge, not too happy with T's role management here.
Yeah, I'm also
And go
surprised
back. What
they're
do you
not been
think?
like.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, okay, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just because he doesn't speak yet. But what are your thoughts on Goba?
On Trace versus EDG? GDG? I have a little bit lag, so
JDG versus
I missed at
Trace.
the start. Yeah.
JDG versus Trace.
Not the most interesting map, I think. We saw Trace still not being that dominant. It's at 2-0, but it's not that clean 2-0, you know, it's 11-13 on Haven, so don't know. I don't know if EDG is a little bit better than I thought of, if Trace is still a little bit shaky. This group is really hard to predict because I don't think it will be a transitive group, and the top four is really stacked, so we'll see in the future. The next game will be really important.
Okay, then let's move on to our next game, which is Wolves versus GLG. So
Wolves
let's have
versus
the
DRG?
resident
XLG?
yeah, XLG.
XLG. Let's have the resident Wolves fan start off.
Sufat BBU fan.
Yeah. So obviously Wolves lost, which you know. I feel like with Wolves, they're a very simple team. They're a very just fucking like firepower heavy. They're a little bit like Foot and Crew, but like I would say the ideas and like the spacing and the discipline are just like a little bit worse. And I think against XLG, who have a lot of good ideas, maybe not as much firepower, but I feel like the calling's definitely better on XLG, and you could kind of see that in this matchup.
Yeah, it was a really interesting BO because I think the two teams are really close from each other. Don't let you follow you by the 0-2. It was two games that were extremely close. The first one went to overtime. The second one were not that far to go to overtime too. And yes, Wolf really rely on firepower. I don't think their macro is that bad. I've seen worse macro, but XLG firepower is slightly under Wolf, but enormously above Wolf macro, and that's how they win these two games closely. But I think if you do the same BO, I don't know, 100 times, maybe Wolf will win 40% or something like that. So yeah, was really close and really interesting.
Yeah, mind you, XLG managed a 2-0 with Happy Wave massively underperforming, so you never know. Maybe XLG are a little further ahead than.
I mean, to be fair, if Wolves decide not to play Juicy on Reyna on Icebox, if they decide not to do what is this basically what the T1 comp is? It's very similar to what T1 played today.
Yes.
Like I can't help but think maybe they got the comp from them because Chamber Reyna on Icebox is just so unique. I don't know.
Yeah, Chamber Reyna Killjoy. That is.
Yeah, what T1 play? They played Chamber Reyna KO.
They played Spring Viper. Ugh.
Yeah, no, Spring Viper is. You look. Oh, they played Reyna Chamber Sova KO Viper, so they switched the KO and the DJ. But yeah, no, this was.
Yeah, this comp was.
The Reyna is not a good look for him.
Yeah, I think overall I agree with the sentiment that Wolves, although I mean they were trying to do a lot of old combos on Fracture, and it just wasn't working out that for them that much. And you go to Icebox, you talk about this comp. This is their map pick, by the way. They cooked this up. They cooked it up. They were like, all right, we're gonna have Reyna, we're gonna have Chamber, we're gonna have them frag out. And it's just the lack of util was very obvious. ZLG just have a much better game plan than Wolves. It's like Wolves didn't have an awful game plan. I just want to say they had an okay macro. It's just that ZLG's was just much better far superior. So I think that's what really gave them the win. Even though ZLG overall, they were playing like the mechanically wise, they were actually worse than Wolves a lot of the time. Especially Happy
Yeah.
Way, their best player, just like completely sleeping.
Yeah, especially on
Hmm.
Fracture. Fucking
Yeah, I forgot who it
was
was,
the
but somebody really stepped up for with CLT on Fracture, but I don't remember who. I think
Raga went fucking nuts.
it was like Roger and
Ru-
you. Yeah, Roger and you.
The Ragro went insane, 29-18.
Yeah.
I mean, Viva went insane too. It went 20-12.
Oh well. Yeah. So overall, yeah, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, XLG good, Wolves also good, but a little bit simple.
Yeah. Where do you think
Very.
Wolves would you bring this opinion down on Wolves, or would you just say your ZLG opinion went higher?
I thought this game was
I
like very close to a 50-50. And I feel like this just gives me more hope for XLG. It doesn't really like
yeah,
demoralize me from Wolves.
I'm not too down on Wolves.
I
It's
think they're
like
locked into
about how I
playoffs no
expect
matter
them
what.
to. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
And they have
Is it-
AG and JDG in their group, so locked
Oh
in
my
no
God,
matter
yeah.
what.
Yeah, and they play Billy next, which
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna be
I don't
predicting
have
that
much
later.
faith, but yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Wolves.
we'll move on to the next game, which is Tech versus Tyloo, and
Tech
as our
Tyloo.
resident Tech fan, you wanna cook up what you wanna say?
yeah. Let me here. Can you pull up some of the stuff I had, that I had in the doc? I just want to go over this. But while you're going over this, let me say this was a tech masterclass. I didn't watch much of map 1 because I was asleep. I slept through my alarm. But I woke up when it was map 2 Icebox. The score is 5-1. Then proceeded not to lose another round in the half. They won the map, I think, 13-8. Just amazing masterclass by them.
Oh,
They played
what's
Split. It was another
what's
masterclass.
the time frame?
I have no idea because the VOD doesn't end. Icebox round 9, and then
I
Wait.
got pretty lucky.
did the VOD end finally?
No, I got
Oh.
very lucky with it. Yeah, here.
Okay, let's go. This is just a prime example of. I was hearing stuff about T-Virus Luke, this propaganda coming out, gonna be inconsistent. He's not gonna be perform versus his old team, which he did. And I was hearing he was a good cut from DRG because he was inconsistent. But I don't know, just him. Like every series so far, except for the first one where he was forced on Waylay and frying.
I just want to say,
If we just wait a moment.
yeah, Waylay's a trap of an Asian.
But
bro.
I think, yeah, almost every team is falling
Yeah,
into his trap. Like
They're,
it's just
they're so like.
has any
Waylay
team found
version
success?
of China.
I think the best success was like
Look at this, look at
EDG
this.
versus Tyloo.
Yeah, EDG
but
were
that's
right with
EDG.
it, but
Oh my. Oh my.
Oh, he's frying, bro.
he does feed a little
Bro,
bit here though. But it is a 5v2.
Oh no,
you can
this
kind
is good. This means to me that he has confidence,
True.
right?
Yeah,
Like he's
he
going for
was
the ace here.
he
I'll
was
lose it, but
he wasn't that confident
it makes
in his opening series, so it's good to see.
yeah. And then if you want to pull out like the this one I did have a link for. It was Valve Asia posted it. It was another one. Basically, I just want to say like this team has impressed me so much. Like this is the team I was promised. Or how long and after they come in from like their ivory tower. They come to fix the masses, and I think this clip as well. This clip was insane. Like Tyloo are just sitting scared and spawn 4 classics.
And he just gets 4, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like he walks into a quadruple high low, and they all just like disperse like scared geese.
True,
It's just
do you think
Yeah,
that
what
would
was
have
it?
worked versus a better team than Tyloo, who are currently 0-3?
I mean,
but I think that's that kind of what says like about Tyloo is that I think in this game like they definitely had a lot of good ideas. Like they won the first map, right? But even on like Split and Icebox, I could definitely see they had some good ideas. Like Split, especially, they had like good ideas with the Euro ults. It was like they just didn't have the confidence or the player quality to like pull off some like rounds when they didn't have like the cook strats.
Yeah.
Like you pull up Split round 19.
Split round
This
19.
round.
Okay.
Yeah, Split round 19.
Let me see.
This round was the EMEA of the Titan Esports Club. Of the greatest player in the world to ever touch a PC.
Oh, almost
See
found
that, baby.
I think it's one round after this.
round 19. This one.
Yeah, this one. This is what I'm talking about. Tyloo, they have a lot of good plays. Like here, they're going to be able to get into an advantage. Like going to get into a 2v4 eventually. Like Ninebody, I want to praise Ninebody as well because like he's on like a shit team, but like he's actually playing really well.
Yeah,
I think on the Euro who's Ryan.
I haven't been too happy with HFMI's performance as overall.
Yeah, it does feel like he's fallen off a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we have Slowly and Watu, who are incredible players, I just want to say. Ninebody, he's been fighting out for this team. Who's their IGL? Is it 5 centimeter?
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
fairly sure, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, here, but look, they were 2v4, converted 2v3, RB 35 or 38 HP. Look, it's masterful calling. RB.
Liquipedia say it's Aodong that is the EGL.
No, I'm talking about Tyloo.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Like, they have the flank coming in from, and they have the Viper check the flank. And by now they should have rotated already, but they're a bit slow to rotate. And I think there's another problem where they're like, I think there's a problem with a lot of worst teams. They're just too slow to commit to anything. And that's why, like, you see in a lot of games, they're like, time is going to like down to like 30 seconds, 15 seconds to plant, stuff like that. Like, but look at this masterful specimen of a man right here.
Okay, gets
one in heaven.
Body shot Barry in heaven.
He jumps out.
Gets 2.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's too good. It's 238 HP, by the way. Look at that confidence. He just knows he's him. He just knows he's the greatest player in the world.
I just want to
look
bring
at him
out.
smile. Look at that beautiful smile.
I just want to bring out
For
that.
Tyloo,
Yeah.
For Tyloo, they say it's Slowly the IGL, but I don't know if Wikipedia is right or wrong.
Slowly, their best fragging player.
Ooh,
that's what Wikipedia says. I'm not the one that dated it.
If that's true, Slowly is going to be one of the greatest players in China, bro.
Well, his calling has said that that's not the case.
Yeah, but
this just gives me a lot more hope for Tech. My Go RB, he's back in again. He didn't have a good series last time, but now he's back.
That they can get a 2-1 victory versus 0-3 team.
Okay, but like, cut them some slack.
Yeah, but Tyloo has played. They played FPX close, and
yeah, they.
No, but this just gives me hope for like their individuals, like T-Virus Luke, who was kind of inconsistent in the past. It gives me hope for him to consistently this good.
I don't think T-Virus Luke is necessarily inconsistent. I think the problem with him is he just feeds. He's so aggressive. Like he takes so many.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I don't see these problems anymore. Like as much as I used to.
Yeah, I mean.
Like and.
He
like their icebox and split looked good.
When he was online, he'd be like frying on DRG. But if he wasn't, he was putting up a bunch of stinkers.
So you say you didn't watch map 1, but that's funny because the 2 clip I have take for Tech is 2 clip in the map 1 because I think they are 2 really post plant idea that is really interesting. I just give the timestamp. So we have round 5 of Fracture. So let's see, and as you will see, the race gonna put a plant, a really weird plant. In the she's gonna plant right in the top. I think she messed satchel, so it's making a little bit more a problem. But what is really interesting is the way they plant it. They can anti the post plant in north, but the cipher here is also available to counter the post plant, the retake. Because you see, it's open for everyone. Everyone can see the spike planted, and so the menace can come from everywhere, and so they will gonna win pretty with a huge margin.
Oh my
Yeah.
RB.
RB does an amazing stuff, but even if it don't, the Cypher here could have been able to do the clutch because the plant is absolutely perfect for countering people.
Yeah.
You see?
I just want to say, I've done this exact same play in my rank games where I'm on Raze and I just satchel into top site. I've done that plan. So
this is
I'm not gonna
funny.
say I'm the pro level, but I'm not saying that, you know.
I was gonna say this is actually exactly what EDG did to I think it was Tech. Oh no, it was Tyloo. On their first game where they just like they it was on the eco round where they made Kong they waylaid instead of Raze onto the top box, top of Fracture. No, it wasn't against Tyloo. It was against Nova. And then they won the eco round because they just had like Brim Molly on it.
And so the second round I've checked is round 11. It's a little bit less clear why this round is kinda interesting because the round is not gonna be win because of the post plant, but the way it was planted would have made the retake absolutely almost impossible. And so it's a little bit messy. They take control of the site. And yet they plant on a way that can be countered from main, but also from city. And yet they're gonna win with firepower this round. It's gonna be a huge mess. But if it doesn't have happened, you know, I think it's Terro. I can't say. There are some red people in the main. I think it's Terro or Breach, and he can anti the post plant, and it will be almost impossible to just take him. You know, you just have to play time and. He can swing whenever he wants and just try to kill, and it's good. I think.
Hey, look at RB securing the round here. Perfect.
You see how mad they are. I have to kill him. No, I have to just defuse the bomb. No, if I defuse the bomb, he's gonna come, and it's over.
Yeah, I just want to talk about this team.
Great.
That what's so good about this team is like I felt like Haodong is hyping his teammates up a lot more. From what I saw against like when Tech was facing their loss, which FPX. Yeah, after every play that virus makes, every play that RB make, he's constantly there hyping him up. You know, I think it's like just an improvement in energy. Like you can see it across everyone's face in Tech. They're really happy after these rounds compared to before, where you saw sort of like a lack of passion in it. You know. So I think that this team has a decent chance of going far and beating, being in playoffs at least, because I think they're in the.
I think they can go in playoff.
Yeah, they can definitely.
No, they have a very hard group for them. I was like trying to figure this out. This month they won. I think my sleep-addled brain couldn't figure it out.
They have to be able to beat.
Basically, we're hoping. Sorry, yeah, they have to either beat Nova or EDG. Like I think that makes them almost guaranteed. Like they obviously is a world where they still get out if they do that, but their best case scenario is to beat either Nova or EDG, or for DRG to lose another game.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't think
if they lose versus FPX, I think maybe that could happen.
Oh yeah,
I don't think
DRG could.
DRG might not play. Yeah, because their next two games are against Tyloo and FPX.
They'll probably beat Tyloo, if we're being honest.
Yeah,
they're going to beat Tyloo, obviously, but I don't know if they can beat FPX right now.
No.
Oh, we're praying that doesn't happen, so Tech can go to playoffs. You know?
Who does Tech have?
Or EDG just completely shits the bed again. But this time Tech take advantage and they win.
Do they win? Because Tech have to beat EDG. Sorry, I'm thinking.
But they have to beat EDG or Nova.
Yeah.
Like they don't have to, but like that's their best case scenario.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it gets really funky.
Yeah. All right. So we're done talking about this team. Tyloo is still shit. Tech looking good. Let's move.
EDG versus DRG. The game that
the map of the game of the week. It was really entertaining. The second game, it was. The first game was a stomp. EDG was far ahead. Dragon Ranger is trash on Icebox. I don't think we don't have to talk a lot about this, but on this Ascent, DRG went with a Viper on Ascent, which is really weird for this map. I think I'm a huge glazer of double controller composition, but there are two maps where I have huge doubt of double controller being good. It's Icebox and it's Ascent, and the two only maps they pick this double controller composition is fucking Icebox and fucking Ascent, DRG. So just I don't know. Maybe it's the thing that makes them win Ascent. The Viper comp makes them take some space. Maybe they couldn't have take so easily with the Viper. So maybe it was a part of the thing. And Viper is also really good on defense. So if you find some good way to be good in attack, you will maybe also do it good in defense. But
I don't know. I think the main reason EDG lost Ascent was just they're playing this double Sentinel comp, but they're playing it so like aggro and fighting so heavily for space, despite not having the usual for it.
Also was
King
Yoru.
Oh, dude, wait. Let me mold about this just real quick, okay? EG on Ascent was awful, bro. Okay, I love this team, but oh my gosh, okay. What they're doing is that they're trying to make these context plays on, especially on, okay, let's talk about their attack first, okay? Because it was slightly less horrid. Their attack is that basically you're gonna try combo a lot of utility with Kung Kung onto a side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna teleport in, we're gonna smoke for him, we're gonna flash for him, and then we're gonna grab net for him to kill the opponent. But it just didn't work half the time because Kung Kung has to be so fast to get these frags. Otherwise, he just instantly loses. As soon as he gets slowed down, a Vise Thorn, a flash, all the utility is gone, and he's stuck there all by himself. It's just really It's so awful, and it's also Kung Kung is so uncomfortable on this Asian, man. I mean, it's good. Okay, I want to say it's good that they're trying to test Kung Kung and make him force him onto this Yoru, right? To make him learn Yoru better. But it's just you can't be playing like this if you want to help Kung Kung learn, you know? Because he's just getting punished. He has to do literally everything on this attacking half. Otherwise, they just lose.
Yeah, but it's attacking on Ascent. It's horrible to attack on Ascent. Ascent is a map where defender can feast on poor attacker and totally trap them, and that's really good. They took, I think, 5 rounds in attack on Ascent. So yes, it's I don't know. I don't think they are that bad. 4 rounds. They took 4 rounds on 10 maps on 10 rounds. So yeah. Maybe EDG was bad on attacking on Ascent, but Wu looks really amazing when attacking Ascent.
Also, what I was bringing out was just EDG's defense. It was awful. They don't know how to play this double Sentinel in any way. First of all, if you can look at the minimap right now, they're double stacking Vise and Deadlock utility, and they're hoping for. A lot of the times, they're solo putting Kung Kung and nobody on B side, and hoping Kung Kung gets like 2 before we can get out. And it's
to be fair, yeah. Continue.
Yeah, it's just really confusing on what their plan is if they go B, because they lost like 3 of these B retakes.
Yeah.
And they weren't particularly close. It was literally either Smoggy. The closest run was like Smoggy got like 3 kills. And that was the closest they ever got to winning B from a retake. Also, another thing, they did so many like mid crunches with like, especially I remember one round was with Teho ult, and like they had 3-man pushed. I mean, you have double Sentinel. You understand that you're lacking info, right? So you wanna go contest an area because otherwise it can go up into your mid lurk, and you wouldn't actually you wouldn't need to know that much. But like, there's got to be better ways to do that than like a 4-man push mid with 2 Sentinels. Like, I think the ideas here were very undercooked. You know, maybe it's time pressure, but it was disappointing to watch this attempt, especially after like a momentum of 13-2 on Icebox.
Yeah. And about go.
Do you want to talk about Gianni 7? Gianni now? I guess they changed the sub they brought in.
I can understand that it makes. Okay, never mind. I can't understand why they'd want it. I don't know why they got rid of Simon. I just
He was their worst performing player, and they felt they needed to change,
yeah, he
even
was.
though they probably shouldn't have.
I want to
know.
say that they probably added Gianni just for his Asian pool. Because, I mean, you see what he's playing. He's playing Yoru, he's playing Deadlock, and he's playing KO. Simon can only play KO out of those agents that they put Gianni to play. Gianni isn't, he hasn't shown incredible gameplay. I'm gonna be real. He isn't,
Mm.
he isn't, like, if Gianni isn't an incredible fragger, like, it's not like EDG are taking Simon out and bringing in someone that can cover, like, if you talk about Simon, the only reason you would say to take him out is because he lacks firepower.
I don't even think his firepower is that bad. I think he shoots fine. He's just
I
not in
mean,
the
he did
positions
lack
to
a lot
frag.
in kickoff.
If you look at kick, he was the worst performing player stats wise, except for assists and like last round standing, in Chinese kickoff, I believe.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, I just want to
be
bring up.
fair,
And he choked a lot in Bangkok. Like he was losing.
I don't think.
He was losing duels against like footy
Yeah.
flash people.
Yeah, no. I just want to say, I think when Simon was brought into, it was like not because he was a fragger, but because he was an initiator who was able to, like direct people around, and, like give people a lot of set people up really well. I just also want to bring up that in his first game they did lose to ERG and they got basically destroyed. But in the next game, they started to improve. So I just want to give Gianni 7. I was like rookie debut, the benefit of the doubt here. But as well, I do want to say if they're leaning into this, or they're leaning into, or they want someone that can flex Yoru, Deadlock, KO, why not just have Smoggy do it? Because
Yeah,
Smoggy was
Smoggy,
really
was thinking
really
of
good
that
on
as well.
flex. He was insane on the flex before he played Smokes. I would argue he's better on flex than he was on Smokes.
yeah, Smoggy
I don't know.
was an incredible flex player. Like I'd say his KO was a bit questionable, but if you just have Simon play that, I mean, also
Yeah,
I want to bring out Simon's a Smokes player as well. Like before joining EDG, he was like perma on Smokes and Duelist, so I think it just made more sense to put. I know Smoggy's performing well on Smokes. Even if I say that, he's not
I
doing
mean,
that
he
well.
he hasn't been playing well. Like this is his best series in a while.
Yeah,
Like, he performed well at Chance, but at Bangkok he did not play well.
yeah, but like I know like Smoggy's looking comfortable, as I think is a better word to say on Smokes.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
he has shown the ability to flex, and we know Simon can play Smokes. So why not swap them? Why do you bring in a new player to the system who doesn't look better on KO, doesn't look better on like these better other agents? Just and you also, we've seen like Smoggy play these other duelists, second duelists. So
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was playing Jet for them on
Jet.
on Split in
Yeah,
2023.
he used to
I
play
remember that.
Jet. He used to play Riz sometimes. To be
Yeah.
fair, his Riz wasn't that good, but he was playing like other stuff for him. But like I think the other thing as well, like you don't have to lean into this double duelist or like your chamber stuff. Like the meta is like so like I mean there's like
I mean,
a lot of teams that are like top teams aren't necessarily running these double duelist comps, Like some are obviously like T1 are running them. But, like not every team that's like a top team is running these. So like EDG don't have to lean into it. It's not like the meta is forcing them to do this.
Don't you think EDG have the weapon to play an efficient double Julius comp as T1 did?
I think they could. I just don't think it's their style.
You
Yeah,
think?
no,
Oh, okay.
I think
I think EDG are like at their worst when they're running it in.
yeah.
I feel like then they feed too much.
I think
They
they
overheat.
they overheat quite a bit. I think they're very good at like messy like dogfights. Like if you like really bring them in, but it's not when they're running at them. It's more when there's a bunch of utility going on and you have to like sort out the mess. I think there's a bit of a difference there.
Also, interesting fact about EDG on this BO, all of the players are in positive, especially Smoggy, and the only one that is not in positive is Jenny 7, which is at -12, and I don't know, it's not that good. But
Yeah.
before ending
He was
this
8 and
BO,
5 in first kills, first death though, so I'll give him his props there.
Yeah.
Oh. Fair. And
Anyways.
on the last map, Pearl, Kang went amazingly on the first part of the game. He doing things with Chamber that nobody could do with this agent. Maybe yeah at his prime, but
first
I don't
half?
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, Kankan was
the first half, maybe
incredible.
the first half of the first half, you know.
I
But
didn't
after
see this, so
he,
I'm just looking at Kong going 3-10.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah.
So,
Let me show you. Let me show you the pistol round at least, because it was insanity.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay,
he had a,
show me, because I
hit
missed
a-
this. I just see Kong 3-10. I'm confused.
he did hit a great pistol round, and yeah, he
Oh,
did hit a
shit.
great clip in the pistol round. But I feel like with Kang, as I was watching this game, it felt like he was kind of fumbling around with the op a bit. He got caught like not scoped in on the op like
Yeah.
a fair few times. It felt like I don't know. It just didn't feel like I was watching Kang.
I feel like
he
I mean,
almost
in
looked a little bit nervous.
2023, he was so good with the op, and then in the beginning of 2024, he kind of got shut down for it. Then he was going away from the op. Like, he bought the op at champs like so like much less often than he usually does, and I feel like maybe just not being used to using the op again like as much as he used to.
Yeah.
Because he used to like buy like almost every round on like, every agent on like every side. You know.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he was good only for I think 6 rounds, and after he was completely down, and it was too bad.
Yeah.
And also, I don't understand DRG. If you think Viper is good on Ascent, why do you think Viper is not good on Pearl? Pearl is a little bit like Ascent. The layout it's a little bit like Ascent, but it's even more good for Viper because, for example, the B site is way more easier to take with Viper, and you can do interesting things, both in attack and in defense with a pick that it's not that true in Ascent. And you have FPX that is really good with Viper on Pearl. So I really don't understand why DRG didn't went on full Viper on this BO and just try to also win this map. And I think if they have done, and if they have played the same way they play on Ascent, maybe they would have won these games.
So
I
you're
also
saying
just want
switch
to
the
say,
breach with the Viper? Okay, just switch to the breach with the Viper is what you're saying.
Depend, because you have to think a lot about your team. But yeah, maybe the breach. Yeah, it's a breach without a Tejo. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say,
Oh,
I
here we
hate
go.
this. I hate this fucking breach fade comp. I feel like breach and fit like breach on Pearl. The map just like the layout of the map and stuff. I feel like it just doesn't support his stun well
Yeah.
enough. So I feel like unless you're running Tejo, running breach on Pearl is trolling. And then with the fade, I feel like Sova is just strictly better. Like
And
with
you have
I know, I
two
feel like-
flashers. You have both Vice and you have both Yuri. You don't need a breach even more.
yeah. Like why
I mean, I feel
I
like
hate this fucking comp so much.
Yeah.
maybe it's because I watched
Like-
too much TMV, but like Solo Breach right now is just I don't see it like it ever being like it needs Tejo or it just needs something else, you know.
TMV
There's always
split
a
a
better
lot
option.
on breach on tier 1, but I have the data for both tier 1 and tier 2, and it's even worse in tier 2, and it's really significant. You know, when TMV do his data, he can't calculate p-value because he don't have enough big sample size. But when you have tier 1 and tier 2, you have a huge sample size, and you can start to have something that are significant in terms of p-value. And breach is one of the only that reach some threshold of significancy that is making really sure that that is not maybe bad, but at least massively overrated.
Alright. So you've talked quite a bit about EG. You wanna move on straight into the pick'ems?
Did we talk about Tech versus DRG and BRG versus DG? That was last week, but before but after the next podcast.
I have no clue. We can talk about them though.
Yeah.
We can talk about Tech absolutely destroying DRG.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It brought a tear to my eye. They finally got like after their game versus what was it? FPX. They looked so bad. They looked absolute shit. look this good with DRG, which is like considered like a top 5 team maybe. It was so nice.
Oh yeah, after DRG.
I think.
Yeah.
Here you go. You go.
Okay, after DRG beat Nova, it was you had really high expectations, and then Tech lost to FPX, so you lost your expectations for them, and then they put out an amazing series against DRG. It was actually masterful.
Yeah, no, they played so, and even like Lotus, the first map where they lost, it was like one of the worst maps RB has ever played, like ever. Like it wasn't even just his fragging; it was like his utils, everything was like just off. But you can really tell he woke up in the next two maps. His first frag, second frag. Like I feel like if RB was even on that game, it would have been like a easy 2-0. The fact that it was 13-11 just like says a lot. I think T-Virus Luke like really popped off. I don't know.
Yeah.
It does
Anyway.
concern me for DRG though, because I'm starting to feel like, well, not starting to feel like it's becoming increasingly apparent that they are just a Vukashu spirits go kill or we lose kind of team.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And it's another upset. There are so many upsets in China.
So many. Oh my gosh.
I think DRG they got a bit unlucky, or like almost every like all the DRG Tech they both got unlucky that they're in this group instead of the other group. Because if they were in the other group, they would have a much easier time going around.
The other group
I
is
think.
so much easier than this group.
Oh
Yeah.
I mean the
AG,
playoff
JG.
teams are virtually guaranteed.
Yeah, because fucking JDG and AG are so horrid at this game.
Are either of
Yeah.
them going to win a match against anyone but each other?
They're gonna win. Oh, besides each other.
I think JDG
Yeah.
have a chance. Have they played against every single other team? No.
They
Yeah,
have to
no,
play against
it's just
XLG and
AG.
AG. XLG.
XLG.
I'm XLG, yeah.
I think
I don't see them winning XLG.
I think JDG have the biggest chance of the two to win against XLG, but after the XLG win, I doubt it.
You know what? AG. Wolves. Lock it in. Lock it in.
Wolf, no.
Got Wolves on a downturn. You know, AG. They got
They're not-
20
Close loss to
players on their
XLG
roster.
is not a downturn.
Listen.
A close loss to XLG is not a
I-
fucking downturn.
Listen.
If we're going to one game, which I think they can win, is that one. But
Listen.
like that's like
I
15%.
don't think they can.
AG could swap in a new 5 players, and one of them turn out to be Aspas. You know, you never know.
Yeah, they could sub in a new
Are they
5
going
and
to, though?
2 new coaches
Are they
and
going
2
to?
new staff. They might. You never know. This is in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Anything could happen in 3 weeks.
God. Unless Spring, Unicor, or Juicy, unless all three of those have a heart attack before the fucking game, I don't think
What
there's
if
a
Juicy
chance.
locks Reyna? If Juicy locks Reyna?
Oh. There's still 4 other players.
Let's just keep this discussion for when we talk about AG versus BLG
Yeah.
soon.
Anyway,
Okay, let's talk about the other team we were talking about then, JDG versus BLG, which they lost 2-0.
And it's interesting because BLG wasn't that dominant. They even lose Icebox, but it's always a problem when you first pick Icebox. When you first pick Icebox, you are not really guaranteed, but almost guaranteed that the opponent will start on attack. And when they are a team that start on attack, anything can happen on Icebox. Anything. And what did happen on this game? JDG just 10-2 BLG on Icebox, and so when you start like this, then the mental boom, and then after it's really hard to come back, and that's how JDG just fluked their first game against BLG, and then BLG was a little bit stronger, so they won the 2 other games. But I really think teams should avoid picking Icebox in first map.
I want to talk about I think JDG have a very hard time of trying to break streaks. I think they get really demoralized. If we go back to Pearl map 1, they're up 10-7. They're in a really good position here. And then they lose the map 13-10, losing 6 rounds in a row. And they were primed to win this game. They were 3 rounds away. BLG were down 3 rounds on them. And they just couldn't do it. And then if you look at Fracture as well, they end the half 8-4. Right? That's a good half. It's like not like an amazing half, especially because attack on fraction, but he knows like really good. So
And then
and
don't win
they
a single
lose the
defense
next
round.
8 rounds in a row and lose 13-8. Like they just couldn't defend at all.
I mean, it's been known about this team that there's been quite a bit of issues internally, especially with Stu actually. Many people, I think it was Sword9, and I forgot who else was on JDG. The IG, not the Sword9 was the IGL, but somebody else on JDG was talking about the internals, and they were just saying that how Stu was just pretty problematic for the squad actually. Like, yes, he brings in the firepower, but he doesn't like to calm that much, and he's like a really quiet player, and he likes to he straight up ignores like a lot of protocols, a lot of comps, and just runs it down. So it's quite a bit of an issue, especially like mental wise. It's very obvious that they're mentally weak.
Yeah, I think the
And-
JDG should just cut Stu and let him go to like Gen G or something. I don't know. One of those bad teams
JDG
in
have been trying to
Pacific.
sell Stu for like 2 years now.
Oh really?
It's-
I have not been up to date on my JDG lore. So,
No, they've been, this was told to me at least by Butterfly Effect. He told me that JDG have been trying to sell Stu, but like it's a really high buyout, so no team wants to buy him.
Yeah, of course they're not gonna buy him if it's a high buyout. You know, I feel like teams
Really?
are like too greedy. It's like when they put like a huge buyout on BC. Like who's gonna buy out BCJ for that much? You know.
And maybe it's the original sin of GDG. When they pick up Rare Atom roster, they have to kick one of the player because they are 2 import player and you can have only one. One was the firepower, one was the IGL.
Was
They
that-
kick
it
out
was
the firepower
Crystal?
and hop. Yeah, I
Crystal
think it
they
was
got?
2. Yeah, it was. I
Look
think
at
it
him.
was 2 and Yeoman, but
they,
I'm not sure.
They kicked Yeoman.
Yeah, it was Yeoman.
Oh, Yeoman.
Yeah, when
Well, they can get Yeoman back.
They
Gen G
can
cut
get
him. They
Yeoman
can get him
back.
back. They want
Yeah.
him, you
I'm
know?
pretty sure
Wait, is
Stu is
it-
the only player left from Rare Atom. But
he might be.
But is it if you have 2 imports, like one of them's on the bench, is that like okay, or can you only have like one side, like even if they're not playing?
I think you can sign an import sub, but I don't think they can play in the same match as the. I
Yeah,
don't
like that's
know.
what
I
I'm saying.
haven't
Like
looked at it.
if AG like signed like 5 different imports, but they're all on the bench because they never play any of their bench players,
I
even
think-
though they have a million of them.
I think okay, I might be completely bullshitting this up, but I think you can, but you can't play them in the same, not even in the same series you can't.
Why not?
Hmm.
It would just be interesting to see.
I'm trying to think of any team that
Legit.
has signed 2 imports, but I don't remember any.
Yeah, I don't
I
remember
mean,
either.
There was DRG and Rare Atom from
Yeah, but
2023.
but they're all
German
tier
edition.
2. Tier 2 has it a bit, but I'm talking about like tier
Yeah.
1 teams. Yeah. So that's actually I want to talk about BLG real quick. I think BLG they had a good showing, but there's nothing impressing me about this roster. This roster seems very like it's just a gatekeep team. Like if you are better than BLG, you'll be a good team, but besides that, BLG themselves, I don't think they look that good.
I mean, Billy are just a silly, messy, muddy team, and they thrive in it.
True. Yeah.
Like they just do stupid shit and win anyway. They're the most confusing fucking team I've ever watched, but I kind of love it.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I
they
think
are
it works because
consistent.
of how shit China is.
Oh, if you
You're saying
insult
that,
BLG, you insult energy. And all American.
Yeah, I'm insulting energy every day. Did you not see yesterday's podcast? Or,
You're also
I don't know who
insulting
it was
LB.
to, but I'm not a fan of energy.
Yeah. No.
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
fraudulent.
Let's move on to the pickups
Yeah.
then.
Anyway,
Let's
Perfect.
talk about BLG. We can go on to AG versus BLG. The possibly the worst roster in franchising. AG in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, guarantee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless YZ literally dies, then
or AG sub in 5 of their players, and they're all like prime Aspas, prime EA, prime Demon. That's the only other reality. Other than that,
what Elb, Bunt, Monk, fucking I
Yeah.
don't.
you know, Monk
I
has
don't
been
think
training
that's
in the
gonna
woods. You know,
You know, Monk.
he's been training.
Yeah, I heard him, bro. I heard Monk. He from my down ancestor, bro. He's been like out there under a waterfall. He's been in there. He's been thinking about how to be improve.
Yeah,
MP.
no.
Yeah.
He's been
on
like visualizing these rotates, you know.
Yeah. You know,
Wasn't he on Attacking Soul Esports?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
I just want to say all the attacking soul esports besides like Life has really fallen off.
I mean, Life was like their only
Even
good
was
player.
It was Bunt, Monk, Life.
Bunt, Monk, Life,
HFMI,
HFMI.
and Aang.
HFMI.
I think Aang as well,
No,
right?
it wasn't Aang. No,
No,
Am I tripping?
Iang was on FPX.
It was
He's always been.
it was
I'm
their,
tripping. I think I'm
it
tripping.
was their KO player, right? I think.
Was it Sword 9?
No, it wasn't Sword 9. 100% can't be. But yeah.
Anyway,
Well, let's look
this
back
just
at
shows how
Masters
little we care
Tokyo.
about AG.
It was YH Chen.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
Yu-Chen,
it's
Yu-Chen.
Chen.
Yes.
YH Chen. Yu Chen. I don't know how to say it. YH Chen.
I don't know. Yeah, but yeah. So
They got
Anyway,
beat by
anyways.
point
Monch
is-
and
No one cares about
Go next.
AG. They're not
go
winning either.
next. Nova versus FBX. Oh wait. I want to
This is a bang.
I want to explain the point system and the stuff system again for the people who aren't aware. Oh shit, my voice is dying. Okay, so so the 6 out of 10 on the bottom left is saying how many pick'ems you got right. So highest is Hades with 7 out of 10, and then the point system is going according to how your picks were. If it's a guarantee, so if it's like right now, all of us pick PLG, we will be getting 1 point. If only one person, if we are 3 correct and 1 wrong, then you get 2 points. If we are 50-50 split, the 2 people who got it right get 3 points. And if you're the only person to believe in a roster, a team, and they win, you get 4 whole points. Which is why Hades is sitting at a comfortable 14, because he voted Tech versus DRG, got 4 points.
Fucking hell.
the Tech belief, bro. They're going all the way. You not
Did
see
you
that on their
actually-
Twitter every game. Every
Did
game.
you genuinely, like, unironically, really believe that? Just out of curiosity.
I think I said
Was
on the
it-
podcast I had like little to no belief, but
Yes.
Okay.
my thing was if they played like how they did versus FPX, they were gonna get destroyed. But like, this is the thing about Tech, which I was saying at the beginning of the split, which was I have like a high belief in them because of who their players are and like who After and Howdong are. But like it was mostly Cope for that. Like I don't think I should have had that high belief, but they're showing it,
can't-
you know.
I can't believe you've hijacked AG versus Billy to somehow talk about Tech again.
You're the one that brought it up. Who brought it up? Or no, it was Nats who brought it up.
Okay.
I just like
Anyway.
gaslit myself into thinking they were amazing.
Okay.
They actually are.
Nova versus FPX.
Nova versus FPX in 3,
Yeah.
2,
This one should be interesting.
50-50 split.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it should be like 50-50.
I have a lot of things to say about Nova because Nova doesn't mean anything. Which kind of Nova will have? Which flavor of Nova will have? Which identity of Nova will have? We'll have the Nova that glaze double sentinel and play them on the worst map ever to play double sentinel, which is Lotus, or will we have the Nova team that hate double sentinel and won't play them on the best map ever to play double sentinel, Ascent? We will have the Nova team that gonna first ban Ascent, or does we gonna have the Nova team that first pick Ascent? We will have the Nova that play duelist on the first player, on the second player, or on the third player, or maybe even on the first player. Why not? So yeah, I don't really know what Nova is. Nova, please fix your identities, and I will bet on you. But please do that for me.
Wow, what a
Alright,
song Nova.
Do we want to hear the other argument for FPX from
Yeah.
my toes?
Okay. So FPX are a very strange team. They play kind of bizarre comps. They lean into controllers a lot, and certain teams I think can shut that down, aka Edward. But I feel like with the other mid-tables teams in China, I don't think they're gonna have the experience or the quality of calling to
counter FPX's weirdo comps.
I just want to say, you brought up saying Edward could stop maybe FPX, but Nova, they beat Edward 2-0, and it was pretty convincing. Fracture was a convincing win. Ascent was less convincing, but yeah.
No, I disagree with you. The reason why Nova did win this, it's not because Nova was strong, it's because EDG was really messy this day, and I have the round. I want to show to my case the argument of the last round of Nova versus EDG on Fracture. I don't know if I put it in the
You did. I have it.
I did, yes. I want to show this that it was not a Nova win. It was a EDG lose. Look at this. Look at this gonna be terrible. You see the waylay. She's ready. She want to pick. Bridge say, "Oh, I'm gonna stun. Just wait." And meanwhile, she already pick. Bridge didn't have time to put his spell, and then they are in a rough situation in 2v2 where they would have probably beat them. Now we have an amazing kill from Simon, and then it's a 1v1. But then Simon will try to defuse, and gonna decide to end his life on the spell on Aether and just give the win to Nova, because maybe this game was paid for gamble association and give so much money to them. So no, I don't think Nova it's team. Maybe it's Team Va or it's Team No. It's Va esport or No esport, but I bet on No esport for this game.
No esports.
Just real quick, by the way, I've went from the highest Predator picker to the least Predator picker.
Yeah. This is a mistake from the American stuff, but yeah.
And also, I'm not fully sure, but I don't
$0.
think. Also, I'm not fully sure, but I don't think this game is not Talon versus RRQ.
Yes, it is not Talon versus RQ.
Oh, I just saw.
Shh, guys.
Also, wasn't Anglebok 5 out of 10 with a different amount of points and not?
You don't see
Listen
it.
to podcast stuff.
This
We know
didn't happen.
this. We
This
know
didn't
this.
happen.
Anyway, give us the argument for
Anyway,
Nova.
I think Alan have played really well, but I think RQ just have like the more better strats. No, but honestly, I think Alpha I think FPX they have like zero strats. Or, like they do have strats, but like a lot of their strats are just half baked because of the autumn IGL and translating everything and going. So they're like much slower in like the reactionary things. Whereas I think Nova, even though like at EDG did kind of throw like versus them, they still did beat EDG, which even when EDG are throwing, like not like almost no teams can say that. I think CB is him. You know, he shares a letter with RB. Kind of aura, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, no, like I just I don't know, I think this game is very, very close. If I had to guess, it would be like around like 55, 45, something like that. But I just favor Nova because I think they've shown higher peaks than FPX.
I think Nova are an incredible team. No, I think Nova. People underrate them, but I think Nova, they've only played two bad series actually in the entirety of this season. One was against both times were against DRG. One time was in kickoff, one time was in the regular stage. Besides that, Nova have actually looked pretty good, even against their loss against EDG. I felt like they had pretty good ideas on that on those two maps that they lost, and that if they showed up individually wise, then they would have done better. So I think this is relatively close. This is like really like considering your top 2, top 3s in China. I think this matches, and I think this would be like around 55-45, yeah. To Nova.
I'm 75 for FPX. I really think FPX is a really good team.
75?
They have, yeah, I think they have mastered the art of double controller on Pearl, especially. They didn't flinch a lot. I think the only map they lose was against Tyloo, which is horrible to lose a map against Tyloo. But again, it's on Icebox, and
Hey,
Tyloo was on
it's not that
attack.
bad. It's not that
I
bad.
think Tyloo
Okay.
are okay.
Listen,
It's
Tyloo,
always
if they get a map, it's not that bad, okay? The team's still a
it's
good team.
always yeah, I understand, but it's always the same thing. FPX have picked Icebox, and when you first pick Icebox, your opponent starts in attack, they can snowball you, and then with that snowball, they beat you. That's exactly again what's happening there. So that's why I think FPX is still the best team in their group. I think they will finish top 1. I think they will beat EDG. I think they will beat Nova. And maybe I'm wrong, but maybe not top 1 in China, but I think in this group they are the best placed team. They are the only team that didn't lose anything, and they played against Tech, which is not that bad. So yeah.
I'd just like to say, I would probably rate FPX a little bit lower, purely because they have forsaken the art of triple controller, which which I think is quite funny.
I remember.
Hasn't been the same since Berlin left.
I remember you were asking for Icebox comps for your video, and I remember someone was arguing about the FPX Icebox comp on VLR.
They need to put life back on Viper. That's what they need to do.
That's what they need.
Jeez.
Live back on Viper.
If I see Life Viper, I'm done. No, I'm never putting FPX again.
Okay.
I don't care if it's fucking AG.
Okay, let's go on to the next FPX game then, which is FPX versus DRG. Which I have everything correct. I literally removed the scores. I can't be wrong if the scores are gone.
Wait, I predicted DRG. Did I?
I don't think so. I think it was a mistake. You know what? Maybe I did make a mistake.
You pred FPX.
Did you pred FPX?
I'm pretty sure I predicted FPX.
You might have.
He's the best FPX glazer here, so it's not possible he didn't put FPX.
Yes, he did pred FPX. He did pred FPX.
Okay.
Okay,
Anyway,
let me fix that real
just
quick.
talk good about. I think this is less about X and more about DRG.
Yeah.
I think they lost to Tech, and I think like FPX are like leagues better than Tech when they played, and I don't know. I see this going like two ways, which is one way is for DRG just having Vukashu run around and kill everyone, and then the other way is for FPX to do the same thing but with Yosemite. I think Yosemite does it better, so I'm going FPX.
I don't even necessarily think it's that. I think DRG are the exact kind of team that FPX just fucking like feast on, just devour entirely.
Yeah.
Because they're so fucking like disconnected, and their comms are so like weird that I feel like they're all like gonna one by one just walk through like triple controller fucking cycles, and they're just gonna get shot in the head.
Are you telling
I
me
will
that
say
the Phoenix is eating some dragons?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think.
I will say one more thing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say one more thing. I think like the main problem with FPX is like their IGL, like the English to Mandarin switch, which is also something that DRG have with Ukashu. Ukashu can also not speak it as well. I think they're kind of even on like the weakness or like that part. So I don't think that's going to be a big factor in this game
Because Autumn speaks
as it is in
Mandarin.
other games.
Autumn.
Yeah, no, Autumn speaks Mandarin, but
it's
the IGL,
yeah.
it's a bit worse.
Yeah, no. If you listen to their in-game comms, they slip in a lot of English when Autumn is alive, and as soon as Autumn dies, they go full into Mandarin.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be a factor because like Ukashu also doesn't speak that good Mandarin. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's what you're saying.
Oh, so what I was gonna say is that for the DRG squad, after being Nova, you expect really high of them, but then they've just been slipping, Like, it's just been a down spiral since losing to Tech. They lose to Tech, they lose to EDG. They're facing against FPX, who look like around either 1 or 2 of the best team in their group. So, DRG, they have to really, they have to have every player turn up, or I feel like they can't win the series. Like, I believe if DRG have Vukashu, they have all these other people Spirit Z, they all show up, they're shooting, right? I think they can out aim FPX in that sense, because Vukashi is an incredible player, but the likelihood of that is just not high enough for me to pred DRG over FPX. Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to move on to BLG Wolves?
Oh
Interesting
boy.
game.
This is an interesting game.
Really interesting game.
3, 2, 1.
Hear the dissenting argument.
Okay. So Billy, like I was saying earlier, they're a bizarre team. They're fucking weird. They run like just fucking messy strats. Their macro isn't that good, but they just win like bullshit rounds to just like feed on the other mid table and like bottom teams in China. So I'm thinking Wolves are, they're like Foot, they're like Crew, they're just like simple macro firepower, like swing together shit. I think Wolves are the exact kind of team that Billy cannot just fucking like shit on. I think they're the exact kind of team that gives Billy trouble.
I have a small question. Would you say that BLG is better than Wolf, but in the matchup BLG versus Wolf have more chance to win because the style of Billy is good when you are Wolf?
I would say so, yeah. Although,
Okay. I take that.
no, yeah,
Testing.
no, that's about it.
Okay, I was not.
And also,
oh,
Too Fat Baby.
yeah. You see, that's what I was expecting. I was not expecting an actual analysis. I was expecting Super Baby.
I mean, we do have Too Fat Baby, but
Yeah. So I think. I mean, for this team, I just think BLG are such a good like they don't. I feel like they lose to who they lose to, and they win against who they're supposed to win. And I think Wolves do not look like a good enough team to be able to beat BLG's like skill floor. And that's why I rated BLG over here, even though I don't rate BLG that highly as a team, because there's nothing I'm like looking at. I'm like, oh, this idea from BLG is really impressive. Oh, this individual from BLG is really impressive. Except for like YZ, he's pretty good. But yeah, I think BLG are just that sort of team where you have to have a really high skill ceiling to be able to beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a gatekeeping team, as you said. It's a gatekeeping team. So BLG, we know they are consistent. Wolf has shown they are good, but they didn't show they are consistent yet. So this will be a really good test, but 55-45 for BLG for me.
I would say 60.
I think, yeah, I'd say 60 as well. I think if I wanted Wolves to if Wolves in my mind needed to be higher, is if they beat XLG. I think them losing to XLG shows to me they're not there yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a very close game.
Yes, but that was.
Yeah, but they also picked Reyna on Icebox, and like
that was the map pick
like
too.
you diverse BLG. Like I just don't see it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to AG versus JDG. Match of the week.
Oh,
After the week.
Match of the
definitely.
century.
Is that the bottom two
oh my
team
God,
in China, do you think?
Yeah, bottom two,
Yes.
100%.
Oh!
Do you know what?
Let's hear the AG opinion. What's the propaganda?
I saw good macro for AG. I saw not that a good macro for GDG. I think what lack AG is the firepower. Maybe it's the weakest team in the firepower in all VCT in the 4 region. And I think the firepower of GDG is not enough big to just stomp AG. And since the firepower gap is not that big, I think they can just beat them barely with the macro.
I actually don't think JDG have weak firepower. I think their firepower is actually pretty okay. Like, they're not great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not calling JDG amazing firepower. I'm saying I think JDG have like Yeah, I think they
That's
have.
what I said.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said JDG don't have.
I say JDG have a better firepower than AG, but the gap between JDG and AG firepower is not big enough to let JDG win just with that, because AG have a better game plan than JDG. And so, since the gap isn't big enough, I think AG can win with the game plan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I
Do you know what?
think I agree with that.
I was initially confident that JDG would just diff them, but as things have gone on, because I did all my pick'ems at the same time and then like submit. I think I might switch to AG.
You want to switch to AG?
Haha.
I don't think I have any faith in JDG anymore.
Come with me with the AG bandwagon! Yeah, AG will dominate chain. No, never happen.
See, like, if I'm thinking about this, I'm agreeing with you logically. The AG probably you're making a good argument.
Yeah, you are making a
The
really
thing
good argument.
is,
I'm gonna sweep all the
AG
chat. Everyone switch to AG, please.
No. I'm sticking with
AG
JDG.
Golden
I
Road,
think if
stop
you're looking
now.
at this logically, maybe you think AG win. I just can't pred them. I just can't. Like, there's just something
I
about them
understand.
that like makes me like believe that they're just gonna lose no matter what.
Yeah,
Okay.
Plot armor, but the contrary.
Let me present something else. Kira drops 40 both maps.
Who?
How about now?
Who?
Kira.
Who?
You don't even know the players on AG and you're doubting them.
So they have a million players.
I can't name every French people, so I can't play every AG player. There are too many. It's not possible.
I think
Okay, listen. If
random sub number 80, number 8 is gonna fry when AG play them.
Yeah.
I think player is gonna Kira. Kira's on their team. They might pull something out.
Oh, I know player is good. I know him. He's the players is quite a player.
That's true. Anyway,
Yeah,
I don't
they
think
do
we need to
have
spend much more
every
time on
player.
this.
Yeah, let's move on to the last game, which is EDG versus Tech.
EDG Tech. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
This guy.
Okay. Hear me out. Okay. Heck, they looked really good against RG and Tyloo. EDG, they haven't looked that good. Their new comps that good. GN7 hasn't been playing that good. All I'm saying is there's a chance. Howdong and After, they know exactly how EDG like to play. They coached EDG. They're in their heads. Like, RB, he's gonna shit all over him. It's gonna be masterclass, and Tech are gonna 2-0 and like 13-8, 13-8. That's my prediction.
It's really funny to hear you that and saying that Tech will destroy EDG, seeing every time your stats upgrading, because Nat is upgrading the stats in time real. So you went from 0-0 and then you started glazing Tech, and now you are 7-10 and with 40 points. So, I'm quite convinced. To be fair, in the paper, this sound as a huge storm for EDG, but I think with how the two teams performed today, I would say only 55-45 for Tech. And I think anything can happen on this game. It's China. Anything can happen on every game.
Yeah, I just want to say, yeah, I agree. I think, if we're looking at this logically, I think EDG, I would pred them like 70-30.
Yeah, I'd pred
maybe 65-35.
But I want to say,
but if I'm going with my heart, with my love, going with Tech.
This art give you make you the best predictor on this tournament. You have 14 points because of your art. So keep following your art.
Your heart is leading you the right way so far.
No, but let's be honest. We're trying to predict things rationally. Who could predict rationally that Tech Esport gonna win versus DRG? Who gonna predict rationally that Wolf Esport are gonna beat Trace? Who gonna predict rationally that Nova Esport gonna beat fucking EDG? So yeah, no, maybe we should turn our brain off and just bet on whatever we want to bet, because we will not make better than yeah, we can't do anything.
This is the same thing I had with 11 Americas, where like I'm like thinking rationally. I'm like, yeah, no, they got so many flexible players. Activate Demon 1, they have such high quality, and then they run out with Demon 1, Omen, and Viper, and King Yoro.
Lev flexible players. Are you smoking the crack
Yeah.
pipe?
X can play Sentinel and Duelist. King can play Flex and Smokes. Kong can play Initiator, Flex, and Smokes. Rossi can play every role. Like, Demon 1 can flex between Jet and like 2 roles, but you know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in my head, like I was able to like especially because Astra's like much more meta now. Like Demon 1 could like fit in some routes, but like they I mean I talked about this yesterday, but like they just have no clue what they're doing. Whatever they're cooking, they need to stop. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Anyway,
Let's leave
back
that.
to China.
Okay, so that's China for today. Thank you for my dad and my toes for coming on to the podcast today. We will be replacing you with Revoke. Maybe EMEA for you next week, but yeah.
If any of you pick against Heretics, I'm gonna report the stream for terrorism. Anyway, goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Heretics play? Bye. I might have picked against Heretics. Let me look.
Yeah, let me change my
Relay
pick.
ball, trying to conviction.
Oh, okay. We're good.
It's absolutely massacring them. A 3K on board. Maybe looking for the ace, but Valen a bit of a world away, but Buzz is hot on his heels. He is looking to run him down.
Yeah.
Tucked into the
So
corner.
this means I'm fully alone on this vocal, and I can say anything I want.
Doesn't last
Nope,
long.
nope,
Nobody
I'm
will
here. I'm
say-
keeping you in line. I'm keeping you in
No!
line.
What an
Yep.
answer
No, no, no,
back.
I gonna brief you. How much do you want for
You know what?
glazing
Never
engine?
mind. You know what? I lied actually. I'm gonna go do something for 5 minutes.
And
You got
some
this.
sheriffs.
Okay, perfect. So this is time for
Needs 3 more of those.
glazing anyone I
The
want.
weapons
So
recovered.
today we are
Firepower
gonna
in the
talk
hands of EDG.
about
Getting stronger
nothing
and stronger,
because I
Sylvan.
didn't
Just
prepare
rejoined the
anything.
squad, needing to ace clutch to keep them in the map.
Wow.
And I think someone is finally back to save me, right?
Wow.
And Sylvan will bail them out.
Hello.
Oh, you have no ideas how many slurs I could have said in 1 minute.
You don't know how many players you said.
And it is all on Jaw.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I think we are gonna get booted by
Following
YouTube.
through, finds it to the reload. Completed. An eventual drift online.
I come back in 1 minute.
Dodge check, can you dodge check it?
Unbelievable ace! What an unbelievable player! He keeps them alive!
That is absolutely unreal! I don't think it
This
matters!
is a crazy week, I feel.
He stands up! He's got Bangkok on fire!
Push it to the back. Some shots flying through the salvos. Meteor
Don't
able
fall.
to avoid them. Pushes out, finds the first. Would have to be an ace clutch. Taps it
Yeah,
again.
that's about how I feel.
Finds another.
Yeah.
Continuing to try to beat the board balance.
No spoilers,
Swinging
no
around the
spoilers.
flank. And Meteor pulls off
to say
the
about that.
ace clutch. T1's hero has returned.
How has he done it? When they needed him most! At last plant, he has had a couple great reads today. It hasn't been his best.
Finds that kill.
I'm back.
Meteor
Sorry.
run down. Sylvan in the smoke. Finds himself a second. The Trent will flush him out. Swap of the weapon.
So, are we all in?
Being
Or
held.
Hades is
Trent,
still missing?
He's out at safety. He's desperately trying to get it done. He's just
Yeah, sorry, I'm pronouncing the French way Hades, which is pretty real, I think.
somehow. He's a Red Bull clutch. And the hands of Stacks.
Oh,
Good luck. Have
Yeah.
fun. He's clean.
Rely on the side
I
of
posted
intention.
something on
Suddenly,
VLR. Say that we're on EMEA now.
Oh, good idea. Great idea.
away. Just drop here. Oh! Chicho, you are outrageous.
Okay, I want to first talk about
Saving EDG from what could
So let's let me introduce Revoke for everyone
hello, hello.
joining EMEA.
Hello.
Yes. Okay. Let's.
Yeah,
Let's
I
go.
was here last week, but it was 4 a.m. I'm good now. I'm awake. Let's go.
Yes. More energy. Let's go. It's 2 a.m. for me, but it's chilling.
2 a.m. is the best time in the world to speak about Valorant. To be fair.
Yes. Okay. Let's go into first a thread about if Giant X beat Vitality. Everyone who replies to this thread will send me a code for a $25 USD Valorant gift card. If Vitality beats Giant X, no one gets anything. Reply to join. And I just want to say, this does in fact show the illiteracy of VLR, which includes a certain someone.
I'm just saying, VLR, the only thing they know how to read is stats.
Yeah.
No, I would love they could read stat, but I think they don't even know what is a p-value.
1.07.
No, they just read the rating stat. They don't read
Yeah.
any of the other stats though.
So it's pretty funny about this thread because so many people replied to it, and he just calls so many people because of a simple bolding of everyone and 25 USD gift card.
Get rich quick just never works, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the result of this game: Giant X versus Vitality.
Which is appropriate. Nice transition, Nats.
Yes.
Well played.
This was amazing game to start off with. I will say, the Discord
so fun to
watching
watch.
K-Fan crash out. It was very nice. I had to deal with the day before. Purpo is the best player on Giant X. Giant X is going to be a top 3 team. I had to deal with this Tomazi hype, this Purpo hype, this runner hype. It's
Yeah.
all so nice. Hate watching this.
Hate watching. But let me quickly bring up the stats from this game because it was a rough one for Tomasi. Yeah. If you got, he's getting 9 and 31.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just watch
Tomazi
the
has not
game,
looked good since KC.
Yeah, he just looks so unconfident. I think Valorant, for me, a lot of the game, because like at the highest level, everyone's a great shooter. Everyone has good in-game knowledge, and I feel like a lot of it is mental. And his mental just looks absolutely destroyed. There were so many times where like he could have gone for at least info. He could have at least gone for a peek to help his team, even if he isn't fragging, and he just didn't do it. He was just scared. He was just sitting in a corner. And it's just horrible, horrible Valorant. And you just see the exact opposite of Sivov, where he runs in, he gets info, and he's not scared. And obviously Vitality has better util to support him and back him up. But at the same time, like, even if they didn't and he ran in and died, he probably still would have played significantly better than Tomazi, just because he's willing to take fights, he's willing to play for the team, and he's not just scared to actually play the match.
Yeah, I will say, just to cut Giant X some slack, they did go against Vitality. Vitality is probably the best or second best. Like, probably still the best team in EMEA. Like, even though they did lose Trex, they still have Durka, who's insane. They still have Les, they still have Safe, they still have Kicks. And I don't know how to say it, Saivo?
I guess it's Sivov on
insane as well.
stream.
Sivov, yeah.
Saivo. He is insane as well. Let's just talk about him real quick. Like, this is his rookie debut. Oh my god, he's insane. He doesn't even usually play Omen, right?
Yes.
Usually, he's like a flex player. And they signed and they smokes. It's amazing. Like, I don't think you could ask for like a better debut.
Yeah, that was his third map ever on Omen on VLR.
Third map, wow.
Yeah. I mean, the thing
How
with
many
him
does
too is
Tomazi
like,
has all time?
oh
He
man,
has
I can check
16.
right now.
He
Tomazi
has 16.
has on Omen all time, 16 with 0.78. Yeah, I mean, part of the problem I have with GX2 is they just, not to be mean, but when West Sides want you like top fragger by a significant margin on any map on Cypher, you know it's bad. And that's no hate to West Side, but you have Purpo and Cloud on the team, who people have glazed for years and years and years.
I want to cut
saying, like,
Cloud
these are
some
top
slack
players.
because he is IGL.
He's IGLing, yeah, of
Cloud
course.
is IGLing, and he is second frag map 1, like 17, 17, 13
Yeah,
before. It
But
wasn't like he
even
was
then,
playing like shit.
like, it's just to have your rookie have to put up that performance on Cypher is just embarrassing for the rest of the team, honestly.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Runner, Purple, Tomazi, like especially Tomazi, like right, we're talking about Tomazi a lot, but I think Runner as well had a massive stinker.
Yeah.
And like to be honest, I don't think Runner has had a good game in a while. There's a reason I think he got cut from Vite. He was definitely like the weakest link there. And as for like Purple, like he's been always hyped up, like especially like way back in the day, like 2022, M3, M3C. But I don't know. He just like he's never able to reach like the peak of like what people hype him up to be. Like you see flashes of it, like in like the Lotus map. You know, he aced, or was it Lotus? Or yeah, it was Lotus.
Yeah.
He aced.
Yep.
It was like a really nice ace, but like in that map, he also was 11 and 13. You know? It's like
Yeah.
I lost 13 too. It's just I think this team is a lot of like a lot of people that like they have decently high peaks, I would say, but their average is like far below average.
Yeah, I mean, at one point before Purpo joined M3C for their first match, I think the one match he played for them under M3C,
Yes, it was. I think
he
it was
was
his
the
first match.
highest rated player on VLR of all time. He literally had the highest rating, like by a decent margin, if I remember correctly. Like if you sorted by every single player on VLR at that time, he was the highest rated player. And the problem I have with him is he'll hit the clip, and he hit the clip this game. But his actual team play and his like general consistency in tier 1 just doesn't look good. And I don't doubt that he has individual skill, but I think his playstyle doesn't lend well to a team environment where people who hit nice clips and pop off, it's always with like great util, it seems smart rather than just their aim. And he'll hit the clip, and besides that, like, he just, in some situations, looks lost, especially on Defender on Duelist.
I think there are not a lot of things to do. The gap between the two teams is important, so we can't say anything about Vitality because when you stomp a team that is so much weaker than you, that doesn't mean anything about you. Instead, that you can stomp a team, but that doesn't mean you can beat good teams. So I think we still need to wait the next game for Vitality to start to judge them and just pass to the next game.
I think Giant X, like, this does give me a bit of a doom feeling, but I think, like, a lot of EMEA is really bad, but it doesn't worry me that much, like, as much as it should if it was, like, a different region. But, yeah, no, because I think, like, especially their group, you have, like, Na'Vi, and I think Na'Vi, well, we're going to talk about them, but
maybe
Apex as well.
If you put a gun on my head and say, okay, you have to predict one team that has the most of chance to end the split one in 0-5, I think I would pretty go to Giant X because their group is really hard.
Really?
Yeah.
I would say
because of their group, not because it's the worst
no?
team in the world, but it's because their group is pretty strong. Vitality is good, Fnatic is far better, Heretics is still Heretics, Apex show really interesting things, and Navi is still Navi. So yeah, I think it's a team that has the most
I wouldn't say
options.
Na'Vi is still a Na'Vi. I would disagree there.
Fair point. We'll talk about this in the game with Fnatic. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move straight on to the next game, which is
BBL KC.
BBL KC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could you quickly open the link I put in the Google Doc? This is extremely important. I'm going to start off with this real quick, and then other people can interject their thoughts, because I think it's really important to go over this.
Yeah.
Like at the very bottom here.
Yeah, it's at the very bottom.
Very
Yeah,
bottom,
yeah.
I see. Okay.
It was a painful game.
I am so disappointed. I mean, I think everyone who wanted KC to win is disappointed, but I'm not disappointed in that they lost. I'm disappointed in the way they lost. For me, this team is so good on paper. They're so good on paper. They should be winning games. If anything, they should be one of the best teams in EMEA. And to have Soigetsu like go like between rounds and be like, guys, like we need to calm, guys, you need to make plans, let's 3-2-1 and doing all of this. When historically I've never seen him be a very communicative player is insane. It just doesn't make sense to me. And to have him make plans like that and tell people to communicate on a tier 1 stage is just ridiculous, especially considering that I saw them get flanked. I saw them jump over a vice wall and just not look towards art. It's just I don't get what's happening on that team, and it scares me because I love Sadak as an IGL, but to see Soigetsu have to make plans and tell people to communicate in 3-2-1 when that should be his job is concerning to me.
Boss, can you
my thought.
I just wanted to ask Nat if he can show the result of the game of BBL versus KC, the VLR link. Yeah, because there are some things that is gonna blink your eyes, make you totally blank, and you can't unsee it when you saw the KC result.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not gonna say anything. Lower. Just show the scoreboard. Yeah. You know, I'm not the one that will flame at people because they have a bad game or they are a bad ratio, because sometimes you can bring much more than just kills to a team, and if you're an amazing IGL, you can be bottom frag, but when everyone is in positive and you end in -15 and I don't think KC has an amazing game plan on this game and an amazing mid rounding, so I think Sadak is not really acclimated to Berlin, I suppose. And I hope he is gonna be better, but for the moment, not ready.
I think what we're seeing from Sadak is the switch to English. This is his first time IGLing in English, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like when he was on when he was on like Brazilian roster where he was IGLing, he was still like he was actually fragging out. Like he was a fragging IGL. Like wasn't like a consistent like, especially when they put him on Neon, but like back in like he was always like he was never being like negative. He was always having some games where he was like popping off somewhere, like he was just average. But I think here you can I mean obviously we can't see, but we can definitely see like the switch to English affecting him, and like maybe that's why also Suigetsu is like guys need to talk more, because I think English is the second language for all of these guys, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're all calling their second language. And this is my theory, my personal theory on KC, which is we have only ever seen Ing's play well and their IGL horrible. Last year it was Magnum, their IGL was trash. They played and they did really well. They went to kickoff. They were like a top 5, top 6 team in the EMEA. Back in 2021 with Gambit when they won, Redgar, who's not that good of an IGL. That's all I'm gonna say. I think maybe Sadak, he's a good IGL, so like they just don't mesh together. I
think
Ing just needs a worse IGL.
But I think it's a little bit unfair for Redgar, because I think Redgar was a good IGL in 2021 in the context of that he was I think he was a top fragger. They used to be confident enough to put him on Reyna, and also his calls were better than the other IGLs in 2021. But that's also because maybe of Ank's ideas. Protocols.
I don't know, but like I think Sadak is just really struggling for not calling in Brazilian or Portuguese. I'm just gonna say, Sadak, please come back. We miss you. We miss you here in America. Please. 2G need an IGL. Loud. Mine is Vinny plus Sadak would go crazy. I'm not gonna lie. MIBR replace Verno. Okay, go on live. I'm just down for anything.
It's a little bit funny because KC, I think it's the first time ever we have a player from each. If you cut EMEA in 4 parts, the 4 parts that was before franchising, we have Europe,
Middle East,
Russia, and Turkey, and that's exactly the player we have in KC plus one import. So maybe it's even harder in that situation to adapt to English.
By the way, something I'm gonna note. I don't know if I love stat watching. To be fair, I love stat watching, but something to note. So Sedhak went 9-13 on Icebox with a 0.64 rating because rating hates entry players. This is a known fact. They love baiting. And he had a 0.64 rating, 9-13. The next two maps, let's just remove Icebox from the equation since it was such a stomp. Elite and Avaz had 149 and 148 combat score over both the maps each. Sedhak had 179. He was doing better than them. I get that yes, he had a low rating on paper, and it looks like he played bad over the series from a -15. He legitimately played better than Avaz and Elite on map 2 and 3. I don't know how that's possible.
Good point.
I think it's just because Avaz and Elite just popped off map 1. Like, they went crazy.
Yeah, and then
Like,
map
it
2 and
doesn't
3,
reflect that.
they just shat the bed. I was watching, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second game it was. I really thought KC will won Pearl, but they just crumble after the sixth first round, and it was over.
Yeah.
And also, Sedhak
Oh my god, you reminded me. What was
3 clutches.
What was the round Sadak? I forget who it was. It was Sadak and someone else. They ran outside A all the way into attacker spawn, all the way back down to B, and then back around to the backside of A to retake A.
Yeah,
What
I think
round
that
was
was I don't know what round that was, but I'm pretty sure that was Martina, and I think that was in a Euro.
No, I remember Sadak also because
Yeah, no, he used to.
Sadak ran from A main, like he was defending. He ran from A main all the way to attacker spawn, all the way to B, like through B long, and then all the way back through their spawn, back to the back of A to retake A, and they lost. Like,
yep.
He ran around the entire map, knife out.
Yeah, went on a little marathon. I mean, I don't like Yampi as an IGL. I think his calling was not good, but I also think that them over-rotating so hard every time they saw anything like they were in a ranked match just made him look better than he is. I know that's such a crazy take, and I'm just a Yampi hater, but man, I've seen ranked players have more discipline on rotates than Avez, Elite, and Sedhak had in that map. That was just horrible. And Martin, obviously. But Martin, I give him a slight pass because he was playing Yoru and ulting a lot and trying to go deep, and they were just kind of running around him.
I also want to give some praise to Magnum. Came back his horrible stint on KC.
Yeah.
It was with the worst IGL of all time. Actually played really well.
Yeah.
He's back on his role.
Yes, this is one of his. This is one out of the many revenge matches of dropped players against their team. And I think Magnum performed much better than I was actually expecting. I thought he'd be a little worse, but he actually played a pretty decent series against KC.
Yeah, I have my notes that he was going to be same level as Vac, and he was significantly better.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen Vac. Or wait, no, I'm tripping. I thought you said Chiwa.
Yeah, no. If we saw Chiwa this team, I would put PBL way higher in the ranking. I think he was crazy, but
okay.
Unfortunately, as we said,
it's the vision, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to the next game then, which is Team Heretics. It's Team Heretics versus Apex.
Yes, it is.
This game.
This game made me feel so much pain. It gave me so much hope in the first map for Apex. I was so happy. And it just crushed it the next two maps.
I think Team Heretics and Apex this game. I actually didn't watch Icebox, so I might be a little ignorant here. But I watched a sentence split. It looked horrible from both these teams. I would say Apex look better than I was expecting, but I don't think they were that good either. I think I don't know. When I watched this game, it really felt like both teams were throwing. and it just felt like Apex threw less on Ascent, and then Apex threw more on Split than Heretics.
I will, yeah. I will
Yeah.
say their Ascent. I actually did really like their Ascent, like their ideas behind the comp. Apex, I mean. I think like the Deadlock Cipher, it made it work well. But Split and Icebox, I feel like this was just like I don't even think it was anything from Heretics. I think that just Team Heretics like it just shot back better. Like that was my takeaway from like this. Like,
Yeah, I
they,
really agree. I really think continue. I will talk after.
and I was just saying like Team Heretics like especially like Miniboo on Icebox, like I don't think like they did like anything crazy or like anything that was like actually like that you take away and be like, okay, this is pretty good. It was mainly just gun dev. Like the I don't know, if you just look at this, at least from my point of view, like my Team Heretic stocks have not gone up that much.
No, yeah.
'Cause
I
I just
mine actually went down.
Yeah, I
mine
agree
did
with
as
you,
well, so.
but I really love what Apex proposed on Ascent and Splits, and maybe even a little bit on Icebox. I saw really good fundamentals from Apex. I saw post plant that was perfectly mastered, and this for my case I want to bring a round I put in the doc, I think. The Apex Splits round 9, it's a second link if you can show it.
Yes.
Thanks. And yeah, I really saw a team play and not 5-player a solo queue team play. Like I can see, for example, in team like Vitality, where the team is amazing, the firepower is unbelievable, but the rest is really shaky. But we don't care because the only thing that matter in Valorant is firepower. I'm exaggerating, but you know it. And this is the round where Avova is gonna do an insane thing. He's not gonna play for massive kills. He's gonna play for making the bomb explode, taking some kills because in 3v1 it's really hard. You know, he's gonna hide and then a good pick in the good moment, take 1 kills, and then it's turned to be a 1v2, and then it's starting to be possible. He got a flash, he waited its peak. You just have to take a kill. He's gonna full because, well, no choice. And yet he's a little bit lucky. But now this is how the magic happen. You know, he gonna pick. He heard the thing. He throws the shorty to make him stop, and he will gonna try to make him lose so much time. You see, and even if he don't take the kills, even if on the KDA at the end of the game it's not written that he take a kill but he die, the effect would be the same if he would have killed him, and it was perfect. Sometimes you just don't have to play for the kill and just play for the time and the bomb, and I don't see a lot of players doing that.
Would you not say that this is also a bit of a Heretics throw, though?
Yeah, I'd say so, but it's more of like also Apex taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that Avova played this like very well, but I feel like Heretics could have played that situation much better compared to just like.
I mean, I think like as well, like if you say that, then like you can't really say that because there's like. I mean, I think there's like a thing where like basically if you say that, then you have to say that for like, no team should ever lose a 5v4 scenario. No team should ever lose a 5v like.
Yeah,
like,
no, I agree with that.
Don't play perfectly, and I feel like Avova just really played it well to like create forced errors.
That's fair, yeah. But so my okay. Well, I was gonna try bring off this point was that I feel like Heretics was making a lot of like these minor mistakes throughout the entire series. So I wasn't. So this win over Apex, I wasn't actually that impressed by, because there was like. I would say for both these teams, there wasn't any like major mistake, right? I wasn't looking at this. I was like going, "Oh my gosh, looks terrible."
Yeah.
But I would say there was a lot of individual mistakes and a lot of like small things that add up. You know.
You have example for Apex, for example?
I have an example for Heretics. I don't have the round, but I thought it was a really funny example of how like I feel Heretics' mental is very bad right now, and I think part of that is because I feel like choked a couple series recently, but also because I feel like teams when they start losing and when they expect to win, they lose trust in each other. And I think a good example of that was there was a round where Floor was on B. She threw a TP into back wall. She faked it Mini Boo and Boo, the Boo brothers were on site together. Mini Boo was in like the top corner, near main. He boosted up onto the boxes, and then Boo was backside behind the wooden wall. Mini Boo turns to look at the decoy that that went off. He sees nothing's there. Boo then proceeds to walk around the corner slow and then double check when Mini Boo had full sight on it. And it's like, dude, like you guys are brothers, like the Boo brother duo. And Boo is like either not getting comms from Mini Boo that it was a fake, or he's still just slow walking, double checking a fake TP, which is crazy. I just feel like they have no confidence in each other anymore. And I think I heard that from a couple other people in the game when they were watching. It just seems like they don't trust each other, and it's just really odd to see from a team where I feel like when they were coming up and when they were 4 rookies, that was kind of what people liked from them, that they had confidence, they had great team play, they seemed to mesh so well together. And to see it kind of break down in front of my eyes is really sad.
Yeah.
Is someone disagree with the fact Team Heretics won only with firepower?
No, I think
no,
Mini Boo had a great series.
No, I think they wasn't just firepower. I think Heretics overall, like their macro wasn't terrible. I think it was more the micro of their macro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Fair point.
But I think this game also gives me a lot more hope for Apex.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
like people were just like praying them like bottom tier, like whatever. But I think like now like this gives me hope, especially because they only got Governor like I don't know how recently they got him, but couldn't
Yeah.
have been like that long ago, right? And like from what we've seen, like they are pretty drilled, and I feel like if they drop the Waylay, which is a trap that everyone falls into, right? Like
It
I
wasn't them
think
playing
that
Waylay,
that's one of the reasons
it was
why.
Heretics playing Waylay, no?
No, did they play? No, they played Waylay on
I
Icebox.
played Waylay on Icebox,
Oh, on
and it
Icebox,
actually
yeah.
was a good
Yeah.
pick in my opinion, but who knows?
I think that they definitely have a shot at making playoffs. I think they have a shot at beating Navi. They have a shot at beating Dynex.
And I
Yeah.
say that
Yeah.
first episode, and people are saying I'm like mental case and I should be imprisoned. Yeah. I say,
Interesting, I
oh
wasn't
guys,
on the-
governor's joining. It'll fix all their role issues. You know, if Batusnax is good on Senti, you know, I think they can beat GX and Navi. They're looking really shaky. Wow, bro, you're trolling, bro. Blah, 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 blah. You put them 9th to 10th.
I mean, if I was there, I would
I
have
was
said
in
the
your
exact
team.
same thing. So you know.
I think I'm just
Yeah.
getting rage baited by GX lovers.
Yeah, I agree. No, I was
The
agree with
Polish
you. I
lovers.
didn't like the fact Apex was last in the power ranking. Next game?
Anyway,
Okay, next game.
Next game, yeah.
Let's move on to Foot versus Koi, which is a very
it's kind of interesting.
I gotta say it. Foot stomped their foot all over Koi. It was crazy.
the fish is dead.
Yeah.
I feel
On
like
the first
Lotus-
game.
I don't think we really need to talk about Pro. Like Pro was just stomp. Like it was like expected outcome of this game.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think everyone going in thought this was gonna be a 2-0 easy. But I want to talk about Lotus because Lotus actually was 9-3 curse. You know, 9-3 to
Yep.
14-12. It was just it felt like I don't know it like maybe like I wasn't watching this game that much because I was trying to get on a bus to get home for an hour and a half because the bus was delayed. So if someone else wants to talk about this because I wasn't paying much attention to this game.
Yeah, I have a really funny statistic that people will very much enjoy. I want you to guess through the entire series how many attacker rounds Flya called to a victory.
How many?
3!
Three.
3 rounds! They won an
Three.
attacker through the entire series. And if you look, they were all of them were on Lotus. And it was only because Shados had great rounds and he went 10 to 12 attacker half. And literally everyone else, like on attacker on Lotus, Tyloo 2 to 12, Grubinho 3 and 11, Soulcast 3 and 13, Flya 6 and 13. I'm sorry, dude. Flya is the biggest fraud IGL in EMEA by far, and I've been saying it. And I think individually they can be good, and people are like, yeah, Koi's gonna resurge. But like, if you have a dude who's just like almost trolling levels on the calling, it's just not gonna work.
Yeah.
I did not see anyone saying that Fly was.
Yeah, but I saw people
wanna-
saying that Koi was going to be better because Grubinho and Shados are great players, and I think yes, that's a great point.
I don't
and
think
they
I think
are,
they're
but,
pretty good players, but I don't think they're like like top tier. I would say I think they need like.
I think
better,
Grubinho is.
like,
I don't
better
think
coaching.
Shados is.
I think Shados and Grabinho
Yeah,
are like. I think they're decent. I think they're decently good. I think they're like top of EMEA.
I think Robinho has potential, but he's just stuck on like a trash team.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
like they need better people to see.
Yeah.
On
Hard
the
to say.
bright side though, for their Lotus, I mean, you had Shados who was playing an incredible game that map. I think I think you summed it up perfectly. The individuals of Koi are pretty damn good, but their macro, especially with their calls and IG outing, needs work. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move
And
on.
also,
Yeah, I
Zeus is a
really
fucking
thought
legend.
I really thought Koi would have won Lotus. It starts so well, they were so close, and I don't know if it's fear of winning, but yeah, they just can't manage to close out the round. It's really too bad.
And I was glad that this happened because I just wanted to go to sleep. So I was just waiting for it to end. Anyway, next game.
Let's go to Fnatic
Fnatic
Na'Vi, which was
This
a
game
quick.
was amazing to watch.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
I loved it.
It was a quick
As a Navi hater, as a major Navi hater,
Na'Vi hater.
as a Navi hater, and as a NA lover, this was great.
Yeah.
Saw Crashy's resurgence
Yes,
the
that is
first
true.
time since like 2022.
Crashies
It
was
looks
getting
insane.
Crashies was getting mad hates on what do you call it on VLR for his performance, like with Fnatic.
Yeah,
including
I'd say it was deserved because he massively like underperformed even by his standards.
yeah.
But, like I don't think it was like deserved that much, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's
Definitely
deserved
did
to an
not perform
extent.
well.
Yeah, I think his util is still good, and I think he's a good vibes player, honestly. Which is crazy to say considering the entire drama with NRG, but I think he was, and you could see it in the
I think just Boaster and like Fnatic, they have such good
Yeah.
vibes.
I mean,
yeah, you can see it on the Haven map with that comeback too. Like he was just like, "Let's go, guys! One round at a time!" Woo! He's like screaming.
yeah. I mean, you can also he's said it multiple times, but he's super happy in EMEA.
Yeah.
And I'm just like happy for him. It's like nice to see players like that have been in like tough situations, like, performing horribly, like well.
Yeah.
I think I also want to mention Kayak.
Kayak.
Kayak. Yeah, Kayak.
Kayak and Alpha, they had like horrible series, both of them. And Fnatic still managed to win, and they're like probably their 2 win conditions. Like not a
I was
horrible
gonna
series, I would say, but like a pretty
Like,
bad
yeah.
series by their
I think
standards.
stats don't tell the story. Yeah, by their standards, yeah, but I don't think stats tell the
I
story.
think
I still think they played fine.
like I think I want to give Kayak praise though, because I think he's part of like a big reason why they managed to win out Fracture.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Like
Yeah.
him picking up the op was like huge for them. I also want to mention Koala Noob going crazy.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of Koala hater before this. I was like, 'cause in my head, there's like he is not the best duelist from T2NA last year, right? So like the only reason I see you picking him up is because Happy is the head coach, nepotism. But he actually like did solid work this game.
It
So I give him
was
praise as
really
well.
it was a really interesting game to watch because even if Fnatic was not that dominant and it's not Fnatic 2020 2023, it was something really shocked me. It's to see Fnatic player be so calm, even if the worst moment in Fracture when we thought they gonna just totally crumble on the pressure, still calm, still joking, still hyping, and I think it's perfect because I think that may mean just Fnatic is bad, no more weird composition on split, good composition on everywhere. They finally have a good read on the meta. They still have their mental in the team, so I think Fnatic gonna become back a huge contenders. I'm pretty convinced about after this BO.
Yeah. I agree. I think
Yeah,
Fnatic are
I'm very
definitely-
high on Fnatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna say something
I just
really
want
quick.
also.
Oh, no, you can go first. You can go first.
No, you. I was gonna say something about Navi. So unless it's about Navi,
I was gonna say something about Navi too, which is that Angel's horrible, and after
yeah.
like their streak on attacker on Fracture, I feel like Boaster's like, oh, this is what you're doing, and then they just got absolutely shut out because his calling is horrible. And on Split, they only won 1 round on attack, and Angel went 0-5 with 17 combat score on attack on Split, and he's just. I've been saying it for so
Yeah.
long, and I know that there are people who think his calling is good, but I think Angel's like not fly a tier,
Yeah.
but he's close.
I think.
Yeah, no, he is trash.
You know,
I want Nats. Can you go to Angel's stats real quick?
I
Yeah, he had
can't,
0.5 rating, dude.
Let me go to.
I want to bring something up real quick. Bobby. Can you like click on his name? Go to his page.
I'll go to his page. Okay.
Yeah. Go all time. Look at those fade stats for.
I mean, I'm just looking
Okay, now
at.
go back.
I'm looking at any of his stats. They're all horrible.
Okay, no. Just go back. Just go back. I want to go back to Navi.
It's Navi Fnatic.
Yeah. Click on Xiao, please,
Xiao.
and then go to all time.
Yeah.
Now let's look at his fade stats. I want to remind you, this is the man that was once called the ultimate fade.
Yeah.
One of the best initiators in the world at one point. Fighting up there with Crashes and Sassy. And ever since Angel has put himself on initiators, Xiao has just been consistently playing worse and worse. I just so bad for him. Like Suigetsu got out, even though he went to also a bad team, but like it was still better. Zipan got out. Artist, he went to be a streamer. Just Xiao now. He's stuck in the Angel prison.
The Angel prison.
Just
Oh man.
like
Yeah.
this is my take about IGLs, which is like maybe a hot take, but I think if an IGL needs to be on a certain role and they force a better player to like play a worse role, then they're not a good IGL.
Yeah, I think
Like,
IGL should
an
always
IGL is someone that works well with the entire team.
Yeah,
Doesn't force people on their work.
I agree with that.
And like I think like as far as like the individuals on Navi goes, I think Noob, like he's proven to be like a competent duelist. I think Xiao, even off like his scan initiator, like proven to be really well. I mean Hero, he had like a decent enough last year, but he hasn't really showed it. Same with Toxic, he hasn't really shown anything. I think this team is just gonna be bottom table.
Yeah, I'm really
Fortunately.
disappointed. I'm really disappointed in
I
Hero.
put them last.
I think Hero.
I'm
Hero is he's
okay. Also, can you pull up on the doc? There's a link I put at the very bottom. I highlighted it.
okay.
Oh, someone posted it. There's a relevant VLR link.
Okay. Let's see.
Yep. This is another thing, dude. He's the Yapinator and he's horrible, dude.
He just keeps yapping about random stuff. Everyone who has this mindset is not in tier 1 anymore. Like
What is he?
he's just yapping about random stuff about like every single tweet, And like
Don't hesitate to read because I can't. It's too small.
Oh, it's too small.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me zoom in on stuff.
I'll read out the post.
Perfect.
Basically, it says Bro, Angel was too busy arguing about the return of ex-CS pros to CS from Val.
Late games.
Eight games.
About EMEA.
Whatever this is. Arguing with Dirka's take on util and aim. Advertising the tank. Even though Navi screwed him because they first tested him and then just let him go. And then at the end it just says, bro, just grind the game. You're paid for, little bro. Doesn't seem like you were trying, grandpa. So sad to see Navi's money going into this paycheck filler when they can just afford to plus Monsi to make their CS team beatable.
What a golden post you put out.
Yeah, I saw this yesterday night at like 2 a.m. There's gotta be.
Alright.
Oh, this is great.
One more
Yeah.
quick thing. Go to the doc. I mean, it's kind of small, but go to the doc. You should see what I posted. I posted this, 5 days ago. I don't know if you can zoom in on it. I want you to read out loud what I said.
I can't wait for my Go Angel to drop 17 and 38 own TP into the enemy scoreline while calling mid-game. And then going on Twitter going, yeah guys, every region sucks and other IDLs suck and we got unlucky and then go into the next session with the exact same strats. Hashtag goat behavior.
All right, now I said 17 to 38. He went 17 to 34. All I'm saying, it's so easy, dude. It's so easy.
And can we look at his tweet after he lost to Fnatic? What he posted?
Yeah.
O2 versus Fnatic. He's still looking for ourselves on stage. Bad game from us.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, we got unlucky and, we're not feeling it on stage. And it's just, dude, oh, yeah.
Am I trolling? Where?
You're not signed in.
You're like in 2022.
Yeah, well, what? How the...
It's showing his most popular tweets because you're not signed in. Hold up, I can link it in the doc.
Yeah. I have no clue how to use Twitter, so...
It's just turned into an angel slander session. I'm just so here for it.
There you go.
Can you make it a link? I think you just need to press, like, shift here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, thanks. O2 versus Fnatic. We still looking for ourselves on stage. Bad game from us.
Oh, you can't read the replies. But yeah, no. It's a bit of embarrassing. Like, the fall off has to be studied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
I think this. Yeah. Okay. Next game.
Let's move on to my favorite team, Team Liquid versus Gentlemates, where we lost 1-2.
It was really interesting.
It was really interesting. So Team Liquid, they come in, they win split, pretty convincingly, I would say, and then they lose. I actually forgot what second map they lost.
Haven.
Haven.
Yeah.
It was a really close series on Haven.
And on Haven, you should mention that Gentlemate was really close to choke the map. They has everything in their hand to win the map, and they starting to lose. They was really close. It went to OT, and in OT they managed to win. But damn, that was a huge comeback from Team Liquid.
Yeah.
You should also mention how Nats got Cypher.
It was 7-11 to 11-11.
Cypher IGL dift.
Yeah.
And then you go on to Icebox, and it was just a bit of a crumble from them. I mean, let's talk into it. First of all, Camo Waylay. You know how I feel about Waylay. How it's a flippin' trap. This is awful. I hate Waylay. But a lot of teams are playing on Icebox. And this team that went to Bangkok gives me this performance. I mean, Cyril, first series into tier 1, so I'll cut him some slack, but he was not having a good game this series.
I'm disappointed. I mean, when I was making my notes for the series in the first place, I said it all depends on how Serial performs and how mini IGLs, and then Serial performs to be horrible, and Mini is just dropping life games and IGLing good. Yeah, so it's just like, okay, well, no.
I think a bit of a problem for Liquid is that the map pool changed, and so they really, I feel like they were gonna really struggle to adapt to the map pool changes. I mean, you saw how
they were really good on Bind.
They were really good on Bind. They were considered one of the best teams on Abyss, and they both got removed. So now they only have Split. Their Haven is okay. Their Fractures, it's possible. And the rest of their maps are either question marks or just bad. Like Lotus is a free win. Pearl is a free win against them. So yeah, it's not looking. I mean, you have Nats and Kiko fragging out, and everyone else is just putting up a sub-half performance. Tough to say about what this roster is trying to do. You know, I mean, I expected a lot more from Liquid, even though they came back from Bangkok. You know, but like they played their series last, and it was just a very disappointing performance for Liquid. I would say you were like expecting. You were hoping to become like at least show a top 2, top 3 performance. I wouldn't say this is it. I'd say this is more your middle of the pack EMEA performance.
Yeah,
I
was
mean,
also gonna say.
I'm not. Here, I just want to say like, I'm not that like. I don't know. I'm not that worried because I feel like Team Liquid, they're always like an up and down team. Actually, like if you look at kickoff, they started as like one of the worst teams.
Yeah.
Decided
Yeah.
just to play good. And I think especially with the group, I'm not that concerned with them. Because
Yeah.
I think like you just have to beat one of BBL, Foot, or KC, and I think they definitely can beat one of them, especially the KC. I think they can beat KC. But
Cool.
I don't know. I think Team Liquid just they played at like their opponent's levels a lot of the time. I think that's something they need to work on. But like this doesn't give me any doom for Team Liquid. It just gives me a bit of hope for mates.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not over for Liquid. I mean, I'd be way over an exaggeration if I said that, but it's just like you were expecting more. This is what I'm trying to say for this team, and it just wasn't there.
I was gonna say you
So-
should check the doc and see the stat lines I posted. It's really funny.
Okay, let's go.
It's the bottom two, and then check attacker side for both. Or sorry, defender side for both. It's the last match that Kamek played on Haven with them, I'm pretty sure. Before Bangkok at least.
Defender side.
Defender side. Alright, now look at Kamek. 11-5 on Haven, defender. And now look at Serial. Same agent, 6-10 defender.
Oh wait.
That's versus Vitality versus Gentle Mates. Like, I was watching that defender's side, and he was just... It was weird. I don't know how to describe it. He looked so uncomfortable, and it's odd to see because I think, not to be that guy, I think Teo is so easy to play, and to see someone seem so uncomfortable playing Teo defender's side is just, it's a really bad sign for me.
Yeah. I mean,
Anyway.
Rolls was always going to be a question mark on what Cyril was going to play, and so far, not impressed by it. I mean, his Sentinel is fine, but I don't know how his flex will be in the future.
Yeah.
Okay. Then do you want to go straight into our predictions then? Or anything else? you
Yeah,
wanna
I'm
add?
done.
Wait! We talk a lot about
Oh.
Team Liquid loss, but we didn't talk about Gentlemate's win.
Okay.
Can you go back in all
True.
maps and the scoreboard? Because I think it's really interesting. I think Gentlemate might be the best team. I'm not sure it's the best team, but it's a possibility that they are the best team in their group. They beat
No.
Team Liquid that
No.
was in the top 2.
But
In
I
in
think
a dominant
Foot are
fashion.
better, BBL better.
I don't
Potentially,
think BBL
potentially.
might be better. But Foot, yeah.
Potentially. But what is interesting is that their IGL was the top fragger of this team. Mini is plus 21, and it was really convincing. And Mate managed to beat Team Liquid, that is one of the best team in Europe and was top 2 in last kickoff, with a duelist that didn't perform it great. Click had a really rough best of. He ends minus 18, which for a duelist is really, really low. I don't like to talk about the stats, but when a duelist is bottom fragging in every map, it's not really bottom fragging, but his difference between kills and dead is low. That means he have a huge margin of progression. I really think he can be better, and if he's not better, he will be removed anyway. And if you have this team with a duelist that is not getting stomped, I think this team can be really making us afraid.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you just go back and look at Click's game, the only where he wasn't like bottom 1, bottom 2 was versus Koi and versus Apex, like in kickoff. And those teams are like the worst 2 teams in EMEA. So I don't think that's a very good sign for him. Like so far he's played 5 games so far, and like he played against Team Heretics and Fnatic, right? Like those names you'd expect to be good, but in kickoff they weren't like good at all. Especially like Team Heretics, they like did not look as good as they did like even like this week. But like he's like bottom performing versus both of them.
Yeah.
And he's bottom performing versus Liquid as well. I think like I don't think there's gonna be like if we just look at the group they're in, right? Like who do they play? Like I don't think any of these teams besides Koi are going to be easy farms for him.
Yeah.
I think
I agree.
he really needs to step it up. Otherwise, I feel like his head might be on the chopping block.
One thing I'm gonna mention about Click that I think people are gonna overlook is I think he didn't get kills and he wasn't aiming very well, but he made a ridiculous amount of space for the other players on his team to play well. If you just look at how many first kills and first deaths he had, on top of if you watch the games, bro was just running in and everyone was reaping the rewards. And I'm not saying that's a great strat, and I'm not saying that that's how he should be playing, but I'm at least happy with the fact that he is confident enough to be running in and making that space for the team. And one more quick thing to mention about mates is Mini's performance to me. Sometimes you watch a game where someone drops 1.45 on a roll like that, and you go, wow, they were literally just running into him. He was always at the right place somehow. They just didn't call around it well. His performance to me was replicable. Like, he could do it again. It looked convincing. It didn't look like a one-off. He played well. They ran into him. It looked like he genuinely was having a good game. He was aiming. He was prepared. He had great setups. And that's a really good sign for me.
Yeah.
We move on to pick'ems?
Yeah, let's move on.
Yes.
Okay. Team Liquid versus BBL. This should be an interesting one.
Oh.
3, 2, 1.
What?
I don't think this is a guarantee.
Guarantee?
Someone has to change.
I don't think it's a guarantee, but I think DL will still win.
I think Team Liquid is still favored.
I'm okay. You see, I'm not a great person to talk about, but I think TL will win this one. I'm confident in it. I think. Listen. TL, they're gonna adapt Cyril more into their system. I think Lohan is a great coach. I think you have a little bit of a map pool weakness against Gentle Mates, but I feel like you can build upon that in the time that they face BBL, and I think that Liquid's individuals are all really good, and they've shown that they can beat BBL before, right? So
yeah,
I believe.
One thing I'm gonna mention that's really disappointing to me is the scheduling. I think it's ridiculous how Liquid can play the last match of week 1 and then the first match of week 2, especially considering they have a new player they need to implement. That's just really disappointing for me.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Didn't someone has said that BBL might be the best team in the group?
Mr.
Wasn't me.
Hayes.
No. Oh, I said they'll probably beat Mates. That's what I said. I said I don't think Mates are going to beat BBL.
Okay. Someone has to change this, but I can agree to change if no one wants, because we can't make a VLR guarantees. It's not possible.
No, not possible. You wanna change?
Yeah, I will change.
Well, no, I'm not changing. I don't believe in BBL that much.
I'm not changing.
I legitimately think this is a
BBL
gamble.
I think Team Liquid, they're going to be strong against BBL because BBL has strats, I think, like that can catch like off guard. I think one of the reasons that Mates beat them was their calling was really good. And like, no offense to Yanti, but I haven't seen like amazing calling out of him yet. Like, I've seen like decent calling, like good calling, but like I haven't seen anything that's like blowing like fucks off, And I think like it's also like I feel like after this loss to Mates, like, Team Liquid is gonna like awake, Like I feel like they're gonna be.
I feel like Team Liquid needs to lose to win,
Yeah.
I mean, they needed to lose to win to go on their run.
Yeah. So yeah, in defense of BBL, Team Liquid was not really convincing against Mates. They can play better, but BBL can so play better. It's really hard to say because I think the two team is still young team in a matter of they have a lot of change, I think, in the two team. It's players that need more time to grow a collective team. So I think it's pretty a 50-50 with a slightly point for Team Liquid, but I'm still gonna say it's BBL because I've changed my vote, so it's gonna be slightly for BBL. And it's really hard to argue why I think BBL can win, because Team Liquid by the past was top 2 in EMEA. BBL have beat KC in not a dominant fashion way, and I think it's more a KC lose than a BBL win. And no, it's a little bit harsh to say that. They played amazingly. They will beat Team Liquid. It's amazing player. Yampi is a beast. Go BBL.
I was gonna
I finished
say Liquid was close to 2-0ing, and BPL was really close to losing 0-2. I think that's something to know. Like Liquid was inches away on Haven from just closing it 2-0 and having, I think most people would say, like a pretty convincing series versus mates if it didn't go to Icebox.
Yeah.
And KC was really close. If Sadak won, I literally think one clutch, one of his like 3 clutches he was in against BBL, and it didn't go to Fracture, KC would have had what most people would have said pretty convincing win over BBL. So that's why I would probably lean a bit more towards Team Liquid, because if it didn't go to the third map, I think it would have looked pretty convincing, while BBL really had to like scrape to get there for their series.
Yeah, I can agree with
Yeah.
that. Yeah. All right, so we want to move on to Apex vs Na'Vi. In 3, 2, 1.
Oh no!
brother.
So
Let's hear the Na'Vi argument after all the shit talk we talked.
After all the shit talk we talked, why did I pick Na'Vi? Right. So I think that Na'Vi, they have good players. They have good individuals, right? I think that Apex, although they played much better than I expected against Team Heretics, I think Team Heretics allowed a lot of the situations to happen. I think that Na'Vi play in a much different way to Team Heretics, and I just don't see the way that Apex will be able to exploit as badly as they did against Team Heretics. But I still think this is Apex favored, don't get me wrong, but I think that this is a potential upset that I see Na'Vi pulling off.
I just want to say, you said Na'Vi had good individuals.
I think Na'Vi do have good individuals. They have. I think if they do turn up at the right times, if you have. Okay,
Angel,
but like if
Rex,
you look at like.
Hero.
Okay, first of all, I was really impressed of Koala Noob. Right.
Koala Noob is one player.
Koala Noob.
That was the second player.
I think
After that, you have no more players.
I have Xiao. Okay.
Besides Xiao.
Xiao's a good player, and I think.
Yeah, Xiao's a good player.
Hero can potentially be a good player,
after?
depending on his form.
Gamble, I'm going to destroy your entire argument so quickly right now. You said there's no counter, there's going to be no gaps. They're running it down Haven, floor jump spots.
Wait.
He sees a little fade, aka Angel backside on B. Hey, Floor, can you go run in and kill Angel and take the site? Oh yeah, I got it. Let me just one tap him because he can't shoot. Oh, there we go. Oh, we're just gonna win. There you go. That's the strat.
I just want to say,
I think
Fluorescent was like pretty negative in the Team Heretics game. It was mainly the other.
she wasn't that bad. She played.
Floor,
like,
no,
decently,
Floor
I
played
think.
fine. Yeah, I think she played decently.
Yeah, like,
I think
wouldn't say, like,
if
she
you
wasn't
didn't look
amazing,
at
but she wasn't, like-
Icebox, yeah,
And I
16,
think they're not gonna
19,
play Waylay again.
yeah, 15, 13.
I'm like banking on the fact that they realize, like with everyone else, that Waylay is not good. And they
Yeah.
I mean, I just think, she has the potential to be really good, but like even at her weakest, like we saw like versus Team Heretic, like she didn't play like as good as she normally does. She still played decently. I think Avova showed that he has the potential to be really good. I think Malzy also showed the potential he has to be really good. I think Valrunner on map one, like he kind of didn't have that good of a series, but on map one he showed that he can be really good. I don't know. I just like I have more faith, I guess, in the Apex like IGLing and coaching. I guess makes sense. Like I think I have more faith that they're going to be able to rely more on fundamentals and like than Navi, and that's how they're going to win. I don't know.
I think that's a fair.
I think it's just gonna be like a poo flinging fest. I don't think this is gonna be anywhere near a top tier match.
I think at every games, Apex is a little bit better. Always a little bit closer from their first win in VCT, and each game their fundamental is better. Each game their game plan is better. Each games their mechanic is better. and I really think I have saw the birth of a team in the game against Heretics. It's no more 5-player, it's really a team of 5-player, and this will change a lot of things. And I don't think Navi has still passed this threshold yet, and it's not a team to me yet.
I disagree. I don't think Apex was better than Navi in kickoff at all.
No, I didn't say that.
Didn't you say
I
that?
said after each game, Apex was better. So in kickoff, they were not
They
that
get
good.
better after each game.
Oh, I thought you meant like they were better. Okay, no. Okay, I got you. I understand.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, they don't have hype
Oh.
anymore to throw them rounds with the KJ alarm
Yeah.
bot. We're good.
Okay, let's move on to the next game then. Foot versus M8. Gentlemates. Any Gentlemates hype riders in 3, 2, 1?
No.
Change me to mates. We can't have this one
Oh.
guarantee. Yeah,
Listen,
You
the
don't-
drama farmer has arrived.
You don't think this can be a guarantee?
No, I don't think this can be a guarantee.
I don't think so either, but I think it's like 80-20.
I think
Yeah, I think it's like I wouldn't say 80-20. I think like more.
I say
35.
60-40 for
70-30.
Footisport, I think.
I think it's a
But
70-30.
I think if you have beat a top 2 in EMEA, because Team Liquid was top 2 in EMEA, you can beat Footisport, because the Footisport was not top 2, they were top 3, I think. So
But-
the gap between Liquid and Foot is not that high. Even if the change of map pool maybe has changed everything, Mate has shown they can be a good team. They show that they, even when they think they will choke, they don't choke. And in Icebox they were ready, and in Icebox I really thought they would have choke again, but they didn't. And yes, they beat Team Liquid. It was not pretty, but it was still top 2 in EMEA. So even if I think Foot is favorite because it's a really consistent team, I think Mate can do that.
I think
Can do
that
this.
Foot have a very good floor, and I just don't think that Gentlemates is, unless Gentlemates is playing at its peak, I just don't see them beating Foot. I think Foot are top 2 in EMEA right now.
I agree,
If
yeah.
Liquid, and also you brought up the argument that Liquid, they beat Liquid, who was top 2, but I think the Liquid that was fighting today, like playing against Mates, was not the top 2 Liquid. It was much more of the earlier games, like
Yeah.
like Liquid against like Giant X is like the game I would think of.
Okay, I understand.
Anything else to add?
I just
Not
think
really.
Foot are gonna win. I just think Foot are just better individually. They have better fundamentals. They're longer. You know, like I don't know.
Listen,
Just have more
Zeus
faith
is
in
a
them.
god. He's named after one. It makes sense.
Right.
I know, that's my brother right there. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway, next game.
let's go on to Giant X versus Team Heretics.
Ooh. Damn, Gamble, that's you.
Let's hear the argument after we've
Okay.
shit talked Giants so much.
Okay, listen, I think Giant have a 30% chance of winning this, but
And you want the points.
I want the points. I think this is an upsettable game. After what I watched against Team Heretics on Ascent, I think Heretics will be able to throw. I think Heretics, they'll lose all their confidence. Giant X will come swinging in. I don't know who will perform on this squad, but I think this is the upsettable game, and that's why I have voted Giant X here.
Counterpoint.
Yeah.
Tomazi drops 8 kills. Purple drops 15 kills. Runner
But he has
drops
an ace in
20
there, don't worry.
kills. Yeah, he has an ace. Don't worry. He hit his clip.
Yeah.
Cloud and West Side still do okay.
You see,
That's my counterpoint. I don't think Giant X, they don't have the strats. Like I think Team Heretics will have better strats than them. They have an extra week now, to improve their strats, and I have more faith in their coaching staff to do better than Giant X coaching staff. And I think if you just I don't think it's going to come down to strats. To be honest, I think it's going to come down to individual players. Go individual player. Even if Team Heretics are washed, their washed players are still better than Giant X.
I was gonna mention, I feel like Heretics, even though they lost the map to Apex, have so much momentum coming into this match, considering they, in my opinion, yes, they look shaky, But I still feel like their split in Icebox was like pretty convincing, and I think they generally played well. While on the other side, like I don't know how easy it's going to be for Giant X to come into this game, hype and ready, especially with, a newer player like Westside, who was the entire reason they got rounds against Vitality, coming off of a loss. If Westside's cooked because, he played well and they still lost and Tamazi's just trolling their match, if he comes cooked into the sixth match and doesn't play well, they're going to get destroyed because he was the only reason, in my opinion, that the series versus Vitality wasn't like a 13-2, 13-2.
Okay, but like Thomasy can't be this bad, right?
No.
Yes, he can.
There's
can
no
be.
ways
He
he
can
puts up a
very
9
much be
and
this bad.
9 and 23 performance again. Okay, I think Thomasy will put up a 14 and 20 performance.
I was gonna say I think over the series he goes 14-29. That's my prediction. 14-29 with 12 assists.
Thomasy
I'm
needs
putting- I'm
confidence
putting
and
it somewhere.
love, and I don't think Thomasy
a
will
lot.
receive the confidence and the love he received on KC. And after this performance, I don't know if JX fans are really nice and are really supportive as the KC fanbase is, because in KC there are really a culture of when a player is doing bad, not flaming, no right to flame, just give encouragement because everyone can have a bad game. And I think if the problem is the mental, then KC was perfect for him. But since he's not in KC, I don't think I think the bad performance he did may stay in his brain and maybe not help him to be better.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about Vitality versus Fnatic then. These are looking
This is
like
going to be
one of the top teams.
interesting.
Yeah.
I
All
don't
of these
remember
games
what
are
I played.
interesting.
Oh,
Oh,
Change me
again!
to Fnatic.
Full
Change me to
swipe.
Fnatic.
Change you to
I
Fnatic?
cried this before
Whoa.
Fnatic. I cried this before Fnatic won. I believe in Fnatic now.
You believe
Yeah,
in
Do
you're
you
right.
want you want my counterpoint
before
to that?
Fnatic won.
I'm gonna give you my counterpoint. Remember earlier when I was talking about how Mini's performance was replicable? Jesus, that's such a horrible word.
Nope.
I don't
Replicatable.
think. Yeah, I don't think Crashies is. If I from watching that
I don't
game,
need crashes to replicate it. I just needed Alpha and Kayak to not play as bad as they did to the.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I think part of the problem with me with betting on Fnatic is, man, I love Boaster, and he's been shooting fine. But having someone who can frag so well as an IGL, as safe, on top of having every single other player on your team, like just you, like if you're in a 1v1 against Vitality, right? And you go, oh, I'm versus Safe. You're scared. Oh, I'm versus Durkay. You're more scared. Oh, I'm versus Sivov. I'm still scared considering how you played last game. I'm against Les. I'm horrified. I'm against Kix. Maybe, but at the same time, like Kix still 1v had a crazy 1v5 and can aim. It's terrifying to play against Vitality with the players they have. And I do really, really like Fnatic, and I think they will be a top 4 team. But at the same time, like, I don't see Boaster or Crashies individually playing better than anyone on that team. And
Okay.
I think Kayak, Chronicle, and Alphazure won't be enough to frag out and have enough utility to push them through.
Get my counter, please. I think
Yeah.
Light, like they do have really high player quality. That has worked against a lot of the teams. Because the teams that have really, because my opinion, like they don't have that good of strategy and like plays and stuff. They rely like they still do have like pretty good, right? Like because obviously they had to have like good strats that they do, but like I don't think they're like top tier or anything like that.
I tend to agree.
I think they're like rely a lot on their aim and their individual skill, which to be fair, it has done wonders for them, and they do have those players. I think Fnatic, they're in like a really good position because for one, they have amazing like brains on the project. They have Boaster, who's a very like good IGL. He's known for counter stratting. You have Doom Bros on the bench just watching and doing VODs. You have like all these
Milan
brands
is
to like
also
counter
good.
strat them.
I think he's underrated.
And yeah, Milan as well. I think, and Scoot as well has proven that they are able to cook stuff up. On that end, and like I think as well, if Alpha is shooting, which I think he will be, because I think this was rare like off performance by him. I think Alpha will be shooting. I think Chronicle will be shooting. I don't think Crashy is gonna have the same performance as today, but I think he'll like even if he plays like half as good, I think they'll still be. I think Kayaki like massively underperformed. I think that's something they can work on, especially with the coaching staff they have, get him more confidence. And the thing is, like, I think yes, if you just go aim by aim, right, like player by player, fight just clears Fnatic. But if you like factor in like Fnatic's like strats and like counters and playmaking and stuff, like I think they could counter Vite in that sense, because I think they have the players that just won't get stomped even if they're trying to counter them, because they still do have the aim, just less aim, I guess.
I'd agree.
have a
I mean, I
question.
think it's a 60-40 still, but
Yes.
I have a question, Revok. You did say that Crashy's performance was not replicable, but do you think Sivov performance is replicable?
no, but I don't think he needs to replicate his performance for that team to still be good. I think even if he drops like a 1.10 to 1.15 rather than what did he even drop last time? Like 1.5? 1.4? 1.56. I think even if he doesn't drop that and he still drops the 1.10 to 1.15, they'll still win because I think the rest of the players are still so good.
Yeah, I agree. I think like the Sivov, like while he had a huge performance, I think their main win factors are like the aim of Durka, less safe.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have a problem with Vitality. I think when I see Vitality play, sometimes I just have the feeling I'm seeing the 5 best Radiant player in EMEA playing in solo queue, and this as a sailing. They will need to improve their team play if they want to stay the best team in EMEA, or maybe that means EMEA is just not as a good a region as I think. But if they want to win and finish and win a Masters or win a Champions, they will need to work on that. And I think Fnatic might have progressed a lot on that. And even if the firepower of Fnatic is less way good, I think Fnatic can beat them with the power of game plan. And if they beat them, it will be probably because of that. And so to me, it's also a 60-40 in favor of Vitality.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing I'm gonna note really quick as a last point, because I think your point about like them being ranked players is a good one. I think their strats aren't good. I think their utility is good, so it makes their strats look good because Kick is such a good player. Like I feel like overall they don't have like a great like set game plan. You know, they don't have these crazy like rotate calls, but I think it looks good and it looks convincing because Kix is just insane with his util, and he just lets everyone else play so well because I think he has the best util in the EMEA.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go on to our final game then. Koi versus KC. 3, 2, 1.
All right, Nats, pack up the bag.
Listen. I believe in this Koi squad. Okay, okay. I believe in this Koi squad being KC. KC did not show an impressive showing against BBL. Yes, they played a close series, but I think KC's lack of communications is going to cause further problems down the line. And I think that Koi have enough firepower to beat KC. I think Aves dropped an elite, dropped a shocking series. And I think that the calling between KC was not impressive enough for me to push them above Koi, because I think Grabinho and Shados are incredible players. I think they are at least the top 3/4 of the top quarter of top 25% of EMEA. That's my point.
Question.
Yeah. You.
Who are the fraggers on Koi that will frag against KC? You said Koi's gonna outfrag KC.
Yes. Grabinho, Shados. That's all I need.
And Soulcast, baby.
Soulcast, baby. You are right.
I'm
Soulcast,
joking,
baby. Soulcast is gonna drop
Grim Merchant.
You know, Soulcast, he drops his legendary, like, scrim. You know, all I hear about from Sliggy is, oh, Soulcast is incredible in scrims. This is the game where he shows it. This is the one.
You know what? This is what they have to do. This is the Koi win condition. They're gonna sit him down before they go on stage, and they're gonna gaslight him as hard as they can. They're gonna be like, "Hey, pal, you know you think this isn't official, but actually, Riot's removing this from the broadcast, and this is just a scrim. We're gonna play tomorrow. Actually, you know, they're swapping the time slot, so this is just act like it's a scrim, you know, because it is, and you know, just do whatever you want." And then he's gonna go in and drop like 50.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
the only
Fun
win
fact.
condition. Only win
Fun
condition.
fact. Lucas has been knifed more times than he has played like he has in scrims. He won. Fun
I
fact.
think
I don't have a source for that, but you know, I think it's probably true.
to be
He's been
nice to
knifed a
Koi,
lot.
to be nice to Koi, I think every team can beat every team in Group Omega because it's a bunch of inconsistent team that can have a lot of progression, and Koi seems the worst team of the 6. But since they still can build a collective, still they can have more time, and since they choked really hard against Foot, I think they won't win, and it's more a 75 for 50, 75, 25 for KC. But yeah, I don't see any point Koi has been really good at, and I don't have a lot of trust for now. But we can never know. 1 week can be some time enough to be far better.
You see, in my heart, Koi 100, KC 0. In my logical brain, I'd give KC a probably 75. Maybe 75. Maybe 70. 70. Not 70.
Listen, is it crazy to say that I think KC at their lowest would still be quite at their peak? Crazy
Yeah.
to say.
No, it's not
No.
crazy. I can agree with that.
I don't think so. There's no ways you think that.
I actually don't agree with that. I love Carmine Corp, but like at the same time, like Soulcast has dropped great series before, and if you have him genuinely like scrim levels and Shados going crazy, which we know he can, and Rubinho dropping like his 2024 stage 1 where he had like a
Yeah.
1.2 rating on controller. Like I like KC, and at their lowest, but they're really bad. And I think if they play against like peak Rubinho, Shados, and Soulcast being like, "Hey guys, it's just a scrim," I think they'd lose. I don't think it'll be like a stomp, but I do think they'd lose.
Yeah.
Before finishing this game, there's something we really need to mention, and everybody will hate me if I'm not saying that, is you have to remember that Koi versus KC is maybe the biggest rivalry in the esport. Not on Valorant,
Yeah.
but in the general things. There are huge banter between Kameto and Ibai, which is the two owners of the two teams that Kinda created their structure a little bit in the same time. It was two big scene in the two big people in the League of Legends scene, and when they created, they have a lot of rivalries. They play a lot of games together. So every time there are Koi KC in any games, it's become a classico. It's become a game with a lot of stakes. With the loser will be clowned for at least 1 year. So this game is really important, and in this kind of game, nothing is rational because. In a derby, you still always have some players that will crack under pressure, other players that will totally pop off because they are totally mad because they really want to win that because every fan are talking a lot about this game. So yeah, it's a Koi versus a KC, anything can happen. And even last year when Koi was very horrible, I think they almost beat KC in regular season, even if KC was so much more. So yeah, we really need to take care. And as a French people, if we start to say it's a guarantee KC will stomp Koi, it's the perfect way to make things happen because our country is known for one thing, is known for beating good teams, beating, for example, in football, beating Brazil and right after losing against a small team like Bulgaria, for example, and not qualifying to World. So Yeah, I don't want to be too favorite on this game.
Yeah. One
Yeah,
more
like
thing I'm gonna
Luke-
mention about KC as a counterpoint is I'm like this goes back to comms because I know people keep mentioning it. I don't, but I just realized this. I was going to say like they have 3 players who haven't commed like in international rosters in Sedhak, Elite, and Aves, and then I just remembered that Aves played in Nasser Esports, which, if I remember correctly, commed in English. So I don't know why they have comm issues, because I know Sedhak's English is good and he is been fluent. The only player that should have a problem that has like only played in national rosters with like people of his country is Elite. That's the only person. So I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I just want to trash on it one more time.
I don't know.
Okay. Is that anyone got any lasting thoughts, or are you done?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we have a thread for today? Or?
Yes, we do have a final
go.
thread to talk about. This was done very last minute, but thread is NRG leaked final map comms script by King Bob, which received 101
Classic.
upvotes.
Yeah, can someone can read the text
let's-
with me?
Okay, wait.
Every
How many
of us
people
do a
are in
player.
this? 5?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, here. Who do
I
you want
can't
to
read
be?
it.
So wait.
No, it's 3 people. It's no 4 people because there's Verno
No, it's
and
5.
Mata at the end. 5,
people.
5, 5.
We'll
Okay.
assign roles, okay? So who wants? Okay,
I'll be Finesse, I guess.
I'll be.
I think I'm the oldest.
I'll be okay, then I'll be Som.
All right.
We,
I'll
just
be
gonna
I'll
do
be
that,
Verno and
but-
Mata. I'll be Verno and Mata at the end.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'm
Okay,
Ethan,
so-
is that?
yeah, okay, let's hear it.
Please, let's go A.
Bro, listen. Oh wait, sorry. Oh shit.
I don't know, that's me. Bro, wait, how does Finesse talk? Bro, listen here,
Whoa! We're being there's a crazy raid.
Wait.
Oh, we got extra people.
Okay.
Okay, I will
okay,
do. I'll do Mata at the end.
Okay.
Who's doing Verno?
Verno.
Daddy My Toes will do.
I think Daykid's
Verno.
doing Verno. Actually, wait, Daykid, do you
Okay,
know how
okay.
to? Do you know how to speak Portuguese? Do you know any pronunciation or not?
I could probably say that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
let's start
Let's
over.
go.
Let's start over.
Let's go.
Please,
Okay,
let's
tell me,
just go A.
Bro, listen here.
He's Ethan. You silly Billy, you.
Ethan, listen here, buddy. I know you won
Champions.
champions. I'm honestly super jealous. That's like my dream. But listen here,
Are you serious?
Ethan, I'm the IGL here. I call the shots. I'm the guy, okay? We're going C.
But we are on fucking bind!
Oh?
Oh my gosh, FNS. Bind doesn't have a C site. You're so silly.
I love you so much, Sam. I love you so fucking much.
Espera, ¿dónde vamos?
Verno, we know you can't speak English, so what is wrong with you, man?
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. I just aced them.
That brings me back to GCSE drama.
Yeah. Hold
I
on.
thought that was pretty good. I think maybe I could replace Gal Gadot as Maleficent. I don't know.
Honestly, probably. Maleficent? You mean the evil queen? Fucking
Oh, bro,
Jesus.
I don't know fairy tales, man. I
We
thought they were the same
stand
thing,
evil
to be
Queen
honest.
Hades. Don't worry.
Evil Queen. Oh, what is something she says in the movie? What's the line that she says?
What was that really like shit delivery she did?
I'm the queen.
Mirror,
Yeah.
mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
Oh my gosh. What a.
Dude,
Yeah.
chills
yeah.
down
See that
my
emotion?
spine.
2 years of
Okay, anyway.
theater for that.
Well,
Anyway.
anyway, this has
Okay.
been the
Um,
Oh, by the way, I
yeah.
did report the stream for
violent content when you
Oh,
pick
okay.
Violent content when I pick GX.
Yeah.
Okay. So then,
Okay, well,
let's wrap it up here. Okay. I just want to thank everyone for coming on for today. Especially Hades for like waking up right before the podcast. I believe it's like literally like 20 minutes ago.
I woke up for the tech game and then I fell asleep after the tech game.
Yeah.
I respect
Right.
it.
You woke up for Tech Tyloo, but then you fell asleep for EDG DRG.
Yep. It was
Jesus
worth it because tech won.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Please subscribe. Please
Yeah.
like. We'll be
This
doing
has
our
been
next
the-
one next week.
Yes,
Yeah,
next
my
week
podcast.
we'll be doing the same format of EMEA, CN, and then Americas and APAC. So if you're interested in those, please join that now. Okay, thank you everyone. We'll be
Let's go, squad! Thank you for watching.
Thank
Like,
you for
comment,
watching.
and subscribe, and make
Oh,
sure to hit the bell button to see the next video.
Bye.
I promise we'll get